Okay, custom game. Let's go to what was it? It was Miami and Baltimore. I'm not going to control anybody. Continue. Let's pop this up to 12 minutes. They can actually go longer. Put it on 15. We're going to be here a good couple hours. I have about 15 topics to talk about. We're going to be here a good time. So I'm going to have a couple of good games going in the background. It's about 6 o'clock where I'm at. So let's make it a 6:30 game. Clear at the Dolphin Stadium. And let's go ahead and launch that. And then let me turn down my TV so you don't get an audio playback while we're doing it. Let me make sure we're getting game. Okay, we got volume audio. Things are working there. Okay, the stream is running good. Okay. I want to send a special shout out before we start out to YHAM5750. Thank you for being a continued subscriber of the SR51 Media brand, as well as Nails by Pingy. Thank you for being subscribers to the SR51 Media brand. Enjoy all the content only available to subscribers. KP, how you doing? What's good with you? MP the nigga. NIP the nigga. How's things going with y'all? Happy Black Friday. Happy holiday weekend to both of you. Thank you for tuning in. I'm waiting for the system to run the game so that way I can see that you guys can see all of the field. Now I noticed maybe the game audio. Let me see. Let me take this game audio away because I noticed it hasn't moved and it's been a couple seconds. So let me pause it because I don't want you to miss anything. Let me pause it. Okay, so I think the game audio might have froze. I was dealing with that problem before I started up. 1 second. Where the game audio wasn't displaying. The game wasn't displaying, and that's what I actually put up when we started. Give me a second. It should pop back on. Let's make sure it pop back on. Let's take the stream. Wi-Fi is off. Okay. So, yeah, it looks like it's now caught up. Let's resume again and see what happens. I don't know why it's kind of like squinched in like that. Kind of happened when I went to go start the stream. I didn't want to delay the stream any longer. Let's see. Okay, so we got. Ooh, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. I'm trying to think of how I should problem solve this. Let me see the kickoff. Okay. So I have to problem solve this on the fly, which sometimes does not allow you to do that because of the fact that you're in a game live, so you might not be able to mess with this. Let me see. The presets are cool. Let me take the 720, see what happens. Okay, 720 has it more in the middle. Yeah, that's not going to work. Okay, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to let this just run like this in the background. I know it's not like the perfect angle or anything like that, but we're mainly here. Okay, now it's running correctly. So I think what the problem was, I had it at 720. I mean, I have it at 10. I had it at 1080p, and it was running. Let me see how it looks when they line it up. Okay, yeah. I had it at 1080. I changed the setting right before I started up the stream. So possibly what happened was because it was switched from 720 to 1080, that might have messed with the screen angle. So we at least have the screen angle where you guys can see the score, guys and gals actually. You can see the score and you can see the players and everything like that. So it's at least workable for you. Okay. So before we get started, I want to thank everybody going into the end of the year. I want to thank everybody for being, whether you are just a part of the 51 Dynasties or maybe you actually, how was your Thanksgiving? User 58, I'm going to get to that. We're in the middle of the podcast right now. I just started a couple seconds ago. So what I was saying was I want to send a special shout out to everybody that's a part of the 51 Dynasties. Okay, we're coming to the end of the year where it makes you reflect on things and look back on the year you had. And the year that I've had on TikTok has been amazing. Okay, the year that I had. Hold on one second. The year that I had so far up to this point was amazing. Okay, this was the year, if I remember correctly. I think this was the year I got my PlayStation earlier around this time last year. I got my Nintendo Switch OLED. I got a good amount of games. Speaking as far as for the brand grew fat. The brand is going faster than I thought it would. Okay, not because I doubted my abilities or I doubted our community's abilities, but mainly because of the fact that without revealing too much, when I look at the numbers for TikTok and I look at the numbers for YouTube and I look at the numbers for SR51 Media, the website, they're all above bar. Like they're miles and leaps ahead of where I thought they would be at this time. So what that's made me do is it's made me take a step back and realize that there are some other things that I need to bring to the same level. And I'll be getting into that in today's stream. I have my topics written down. This is not one of those this is not one of those podcasts where we're just going to be, shooting from the hip and just saying any old thing. Like I have a specific amount of topics. There are a large amount. Well, I shouldn't say large. There are only about 15 topics. A lot of people I've heard sometimes ask, how can you do a podcast solely? If I could say anything, how you do a podcast solely is, basically you just be honest. Everything I'm gonna talk about today is gaming related, so you don't have to worry about it being off topic or anything like that. Basically, I just wanted to give some sort of introduction before we actually started things up. If you're new to the brand, if this is your first time here, hi, my name is Salt Aries. I'm the owner and founder of SR51 Media, the brand. I do normal live streams Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My next normal game stream will probably be, I want to say Monday, because tomorrow's Sunday, and of course this is Thanksgiving weekend, and everybody's, going to be attached to football. I know I want to watch the Eagles game. There's a lot of things that, we all are going to be doing, so I don't think it's the perfect time to be saying, NFL is on, let's come in here and talk about video games. You could do that now and then freeze up Sunday for not only me, but it frees up Sunday for you as well. Outside of that, there's going to be some updates that I'm going to do today. If you're watching back on playback, be sure to watch the whole thing. Like I said, this is a gaming podcast today. I don't have any outside of gaming conversations to be talking about. There may be some topics and some things I talk about, but they will be attached to gaming. It won't just be, okay, I wanted to talk about this. I severely underestimated how much water I had over here. So, before we get into the topics, User 58 asks, how was my Thanksgiving? Hopefully all of you guys' Thanksgiving was good. If I could say anything, I had an amazing Thanksgiving. My wife cooked some amazing food. My mother cooked some amazing food. My mother-in-law cooked some great, amazing food. Family and friends cooked some amazing food. I'm talking about I had an all-time great time eating, watching football, watching the teams win that I kind of said, had an opportunity. Basically, I ate, I'm talking greens, sweet potatoes, yams, turkey, ham, crab, what else? Stuffing. By the time I had ate 2 or 3, I'm still eating it now. A lot of people say, how long is it for you Thanksgiving food? As long as you got it. As long as it's good, Some people, they make small amounts of food where by the time you finish Thanksgiving dinner with the family, it's gone. In our family, it don't work like that. We got a good amount of food that can last us. It's coming to a point where there's not going to be that much left probably by tomorrow. But I've eaten off of it at least 2 days so far since Thanksgiving, and it's just every time you eat it, it just brings back. Now, some things were missing because, it wasn't going to last forever. But one thing I could say is basically that food was amazing. The holiday was amazing. I'm just blessed and thankful that me and my family were able to gather around, the Thanksgiving table and just give thanks and be around each other and eat and stuff like that and talk about what we're into and, what's coming up next and things like that. So basically, hey, I take it as an amazing holiday. To answer Caleb, what is your favorite Thanksgiving food? I don't know if you didn't hear me or if you answered it actually the first time, but my Thanksgiving food is from my wife would be tied between the actual meal, like when you go to eat. For me, oh wait 1 second, I didn't put out the notifications that we're live. I just realized that, so half the audience didn't even know we're live. 1 second, I ain't put this up right now. Okay, post this here, share. I forgot to put it out. 1 second. Okay, this is out. Post this here. Okay, that's up. Okay, post it here. Okay. All right. Everybody's been notified. So yeah, for me in the meal, my favorite food would be, it's a tie between greens, collard greens, and sweet potatoes with marshmallows. You know the thing where it's like sweet potato and then it's marshmallows on top of it. Like that right there, I ate like 2 or 3 servings of that. But I also ate like 2 or 3 servings of greens, so it's kind of tied. You say yours is turkey, and that's understandable. The turkey was very good as well. The turkey was very good. It was nice and succulent and juicy and stuff. It wasn't, one thing I can't stand is a dry turkey. And luckily, the people in my family that cook and stuff like that, they have pretty good, I shouldn't say pretty good, they have amazing cooking abilities where, the turkey was nowhere near dry and the food was very good. Dolphins for Life, what's good with you? How's that day treating you? Happy holiday weekend. 1 second. So, as I was saying, this is the Aries Alert Show, episode 21, my weekly podcast that I do. Oh, yours is cornbread. Cornbread is delicious as well. That's the other thing. I would say outside of the meal, I would say it's my mother's sweet potato pie is my favorite dessert. But I also I like cornbread out during the year. Like I'll ask my mom sometimes to just make cornbread or my mother-in-law just to make cornbread just so we have cornbread during the year. But cornbread is amazing when it's made right and it's not dry and it don't have to be, liquidy moist, but as long as it's, as long as it's 1 second. Okay. So, as long as it's made correctly and it's not like, like a dry kind of cornbread or something, I'm always down for it. My favorite time to have cornbread, though, is when you're having like a barbecue. Like, I don't know if you've ever been to Famous Dave's or if you've ever been to like rib places and stuff. I love me a good cornbread with some ribs. So let me get the topics pulled up here so we can get started. Like I said, this is the Aries Alert Show, episode 21. This is all gaming related today. There will be no outside of gaming related topics or news. Some things are things that are changing with the brand, and also some things are just gaming news that I want to talk about in general. So I want to welcome everybody in, number one. Okay, so the number one topic is the Game Awards and my thought on it. Okay, so here's the thing about it, okay? I would say I'm disappointed that Starfield did not get nominated for Game of the Year. But here's the caveat to this. I have not finished Starfield just yet. I'm farther along in the story where I really feel like this is the end. Like what I'm about to get involved with is probably the end, right? And I heard this thing floated around called New Game Plus. Now I haven't gotten to that point yet, But what I can gather from this means something along the lines of basically, if I'm not mistaken, you probably start the game over and do it again. To me, I don't know if that's supremely interesting to me at this point. Okay, when now let me say this clear out the bat. Okay, before we even start getting into gaming, I own all three. Okay, so this is not a jab at Xbox, or when I'm talking about Nintendo, it's not a jab at PlayStation or Xbox. What I don't do over here, one second, as I plug in my tablet. What I don't do over here is console war. Okay, I never. Don't get me wrong. I'll watch people that do it. Right. I'll watch people that talk the console war. I'm in a couple of sections. I have been listening to some other content creators for years that don't do nothing but console war content. And the thing that I don't want to be involved with it is because I feel that that lowers the gamer experience. You see what I'm saying? For me to be able to say, hey, I have a Nintendo, I have a PlayStation, I have an Xbox. Number one, I live a blessed life. Okay, that's the first part of this. Okay, I'm blessed to have the family that I have. I'm blessed to have a supportive wife. I'm blessed to have the finances to be able to do it. Okay, so what ends up happening is my mind has been elevated to a point where I see all three equally. Okay, I love all of them for something different. Okay, I love Nintendo because it brings me all console games, or some console games, majority of them, console games on the go. Okay, I can get up from this table, I can go throughout my house, I can go to my friend's house, I can go wherever I want to go, and I can pop that switch open and have a console experience. Okay, I love my Xbox because I feel as though Xbox has the best value of all gaming. And for somebody to say that you can pay, I think it's like $16 or something like that, 16 or 17 bucks a month, and whatever game comes out, we're gonna buy it. This is a good take. Should start thinking like this. All of these consoles are great. That where I'm coming from is right. I'm loving the Xbox because, to be honest, for them to have a platform that says, if you pay us $15 a month, we'll give you every first party game that we make. You got to think, like, for me, Starfield came out. I love the game. The only reason I don't think I bought it. I think I played it through Game Pass, right? But at the same time, the one thing I could say is, the games are taking a minute. To me, I love Starfield, but speaking on the Game Awards, why it was not there, just to be an honest opinion as a person that, bangs with all three and stuff, I would say it probably is because of the fact that the game, graphic-wise, didn't go to 4K. A lot of people nowadays, are looking for 4K. Also because of the fact that there's a lot of other games that came out that did way better numbers. Let me see if I can pull it up. I should be able to pull. Oh crap! I hope I didn't delete my notes. Okay, cool. I thought I deleted my notes. Let me look this up right now, because we're talking mainly game of the year, and I don't want to give you false information. I never do that on podcasts. I always make sure that the information is correct. Oh, here we go. Nominees. I could have just went to nominees. 1 second. Nominees. Okay. View all categories. Okay, so let's go to Game of the Year and see what's up there. That way we can have comparisons. Okay, so we got, for Game of the Year, they got Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Resident Evil 4, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Now, to me, if Xbox feels as though that their game should have been nominated, because I know as us, as gamers, we feel as though it should have been nominated, but I feel like it's more on your responsibility to make that happen. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't care who you are, Jeff Keighley, whoever. If I'm Phil, hey Jeff, what's going on, man? What's going on? Don't take it the wrong way, but I love my Switch, and we'll get into it later. But hey, there's two, like, if I count them up, if I'm not mistaken, Alan Wake 2 is a probably I think like a third party game, right? Or at least it's not just on Xbox, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. I didn't play Alan Wake 1. I'm not playing Alan Wake 2. Baldur's Gate 3, I didn't get into it, but I'm starting to hear so much about it. I may do some research to see what that's about. Who knows? I may even look to get that game myself. Spider-Man 2 is a heavyweight. We're not going to debate that. You know, it's one of the best Spider-Man graphically. It's one of the best games to come out on PlayStation, period. Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil, I know, is a good series. Used to play that back in the day with you know, where the zombie would bite you and then they be dragging themselves down the hallway and stuff. I've been playing Resident Evil, not to say playing it, but I put in a little time. My cousins, shout out to my cousins, they were a little bit more into it than me, but I put some time into Resident Evil to know. And then I saw Resident Evil 4, the graphics on that and the way it looked was pretty intense. And then as far as Super Mario Brothers Wonder and Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, I mean, it's the Nintendo Switch. We'll be getting into why it's so great a little bit later, but if this was my company, okay, if I was, you know, leading Xbox and we didn't get nominated, I would have said something about it. Whether it be I say something in the press, whether it be I say something on a tweet, I'm not just gonna sit back and take that, you know. And I think Xbox has allowed themselves to take this sort of stuff, you know, like even when the media, like everybody, like don't get me wrong, I know this might sound a little wild, right? Hold on one second. Tears of the Kingdom is a good nominee. Lots of hype, lots of numbers, and a good game. Oh yeah. See, here's the thing. I'm not saying that. Basically, I'm not saying that Tears of the Kingdom shouldn't have got nominated. What I'm saying is, as a person that played Starfield and just speaking, because there's a lot of talk around, you know, what should have been nominated and what shouldn't have been nominated and stuff like that. And I just feel that it's the responsibility of the platform to make sure that your game is nominated. You see what I'm saying? Like, say hypothetically, I had made a game. I don't know, the SR51 Media Adventures. And we sold, I think Starfield said they had like millions of people sign in when it came out, and all sorts of streamers playing it and everybody in the world making stuff. To me, if my game was a success and it was under like a big platform like that, I'd have contacted the guy. You know, I would have said, hey, look, you know, what's the deal? Now, do I feel that the Game of the Year awards are wrong for not doing that? It's not their responsibility. Now, addressing at least the topic that's kind of revolving around this is, do I feel there's an Xbox tax? Now, what that is, and it's not a different topic. Caleb, thank you for those likes. It's not a, if I had to be honest and speaking as a person, if I could, the only reason why I don't reach below my table and grab this original Xbox and hold it up for you is because, not a problem, Caleb, is because my router's on top of it. So I don't want to do anything. That's cool. I don't want to do anything to reach for this Xbox and knock this Wi-Fi out and got to start the stream all over again. But if I can say anything, my original Xbox is literally as inspiration under my table. Now, if you look back on my content, okay, all the way back to when the channel was called Salt Average Media, and all the way back to when Remedy was making what's the name of that game? Ah man, it's leaking my mind right now. It's not Alan Wake. I forget the name of that game that came out in the beginning, but what I'm saying is, if you look all the way back to all the years ago I started, there was never a time where I talked crap about PlayStation. There was never a time when I talked crap about Switch. I've been streaming longer than there was before the Switch came out. I've been streaming before the PlayStation 5 came out, before the Xbox Series X. And I never looked into the camera or talked to anybody online and went, ha ha ha, you know, this is better. Ha ha ha, this one sucks. Like, to me, that's not a gamer, you know? Like, a gamer is the type of person that, yeah, you can have one console, but you can recognize that another console is good as well, right? Like what I said about Xbox. Why I like Xbox is because why I like them also is because of the fact that I have a program where all I gotta do is give them $20 a month, and like Phil said, we're supposed to be getting what, 5 or 6 games, or I don't know, 6 or 12 games, however many they said supposed to be coming out over the next year. Yeah, all those games is coming to my system. I don't have to worry about paying $50. I don't have to worry about paying $60. I don't have to worry about buying the game. When I need to buy something else, I can just go home and download it. So that's the best value in gaming to me right there. As far as for the PlayStation 5 is a heavyweight with what I like to consider story games. Okay. Right now I'm in the middle of Detroit Become Human, which I took a break from because Starfield came out and Madden came out. But I plan on jumping back into that game. That's an amazing game right there. Okay. God of War. I'm loving the fact that you can go back and play all the God of Wars back in the day. You know, the ones that were more, how can I say, adultish. Okay. You had more nudity. You had more blood. You had more killing and stuff like that. I kind of feel that the God of War now with the sun and stuff like that is, it's kind of like, if I can compare anything, it's like wrestling and football. Where football's on, right? Remember back when football was in like the 90s and the early 90s and 80s, where if a wide receiver went up for the ball, somebody would come over and truck him, right? And truck the mess out of him, and it wasn't even a call. It was just like, hey, that's a part of catching the ball. Well, I kind of compare that to where God of War has went versus where it used to be. I'm starting to kind of let my retro side hang a bit, you know. And I love my PlayStation 5 for that. I feel as though that it's an amazing, to be honest, I feel as though that it's an amazing platform. It has nothing, to me, that it has nothing wrong with it. Okay. The, what do you call it? The Spider-Man game is amazing. I played a little bit of that. Played a little bit of Spider-Man 1. I haven't played Spider-Man 2 yet, but at the same time, I do feel as though that it's an amazing franchise and PlayStation's doing their thing as well. So they've all, to me, earned the fact to be nominated for Game of the Year. So I'm not going to sit up here and say that because, what's the name of it? Because Starfield wasn't nominated, that Xbox is being shaded or something like that. I'm kind of hard to agree with that, you know, because it's like saying at the same time I could say that Nintendo gets shaded because everybody considers it like some kiddie console, and I'm like, do you know some of the games that's over here? Like, you do know that they have like The Witcher on this thing, right? And the Witcher was one of the biggest killer slash 'em up games that came out. Hell, it was really before. Let me get this robe off 1 second because it ain't as cold as I thought it was. 1 second. Let me get this off 1 second. Before, if I can get it off, my God. That's how you know it's good material, when that thing don't want to let you about your own stuff, right? So the thing about it was, you know, I had to take some time to think myself, I had to take some time to think myself whether or not, 1 second, let me see something. Okay. I had to take some time to think to myself, you know, is Xbox being done dirty, and is it? And then I'm like, well, it's a great game, but it's kind of like, you know, what I thought, it's a great game to me, you know. It might not have been a great game to everybody else. Everybody else might not have considered Starfield to be a amazing game, you know. When I look at it, if I start the game over and we're still going to get to the same result, right? Like where I am now, without ruining the story for you. Let me see if I can explain it without ruining the story for you. Because a lot of people may get Starfield this holiday. Excuse me. It's an amazing story, but I feel that where I am now is closer to the end. I did not see what happened coming, okay? I'm not going to sit up here and say that, okay, I knew it was going to happen. 1 second. I'm not going to sit up here and say that I saw it coming, Okay, because I didn't. You know, I knew Starfield was gonna be an amazing game because I look at the bones of the game. Okay, I don't listen to people that go, okay, well, the frame rate was this and the graphical ray tracing in the back and look at the leaves. No, I'm looking at the core game. To be honest with you, I've run through so many tunnels and spaceships and I'm a gamer. Okay, I've lived 1,000 lives. I've been streaming for over 5 to 7 years. Do you know how many games I've played? Do you know how many hours I have? This is not something that I'm saying just today. That's the reason why the website exists. That's the reason why I kept my YouTube channel that I had before the one I have now. So that way you can realize this information on a podcast is not coming from some guy that just writes articles. This is coming from a gamer. Yeah, right now, Madden is running itself, but at the same time, you all know every day, Monday through Friday, what am I doing? 4 to 5 hour streams of Madden. You look on my profile, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo. Like, come on now. Give credit where credit's due, right? So to say anything on number one, when it comes to the Game Awards, I feel as though that Starfield, yes, it should have been nominated, but at the same time, there has to be a metric there of why it's not getting there. And also, when you look at Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, and Super Mario Brothers Wonder, Nintendo got to be doing something right to get 2 games nominated. And then Spider-Man, who knows who's going to come away with it. Now, for me, yes, I'm still going to watch the Game Awards. I may actually do a reaction video to it after the fact, kind of going over who won and what we saw and stuff like that. I might even go live. Who knows? But I know that I'm going to do some sort of reaction to the Game Awards after it happens. Number two, why I feel there's 2 sections to number 2, but we're going to address it one by one so that way we don't get confused, right? Why I feel the Nintendo Switch is the best handheld out. Okay, now, what I'm talking about is, let me grab it. What I'm talking about is this, if you can see it. Let me get it up to the camera, make sure you can see it. What I'm talking about is this, okay? The Nintendo Switch. Now, I have the Nintendo Switch OLED. Now, before I had my Nintendo Switch OLED, right, I also had, before I had my Nintendo Switch OLED, I also had the regular Nintendo Switch, okay? And I upgraded to OLED because it had a better battery and also because of the fact that, to be honest, what's competing over the Nintendo Switch? Before I answer this topic, so what's competing with the Switch and why I'm explaining why I feel as though it's the best is the Steam Deck from the portable Steam Deck from Steam, the Rogue Ally, that Legion Gold thing. I'm gonna go through all of them. You see what I'm saying? So for me, the reason why the Nintendo Switch to me is the best handheld out and why I'm advertising it like that to you is because of, to me, it's less of a headache. Okay? One of the main things I did was I realized that for whatever reason, okay, Madden is not available on the Switch. Now, oh, okay. I thought it was my doorbell. Madden is not available on the Switch. But at the same time, MLB The Show is, NBA 2K24 is, The Witcher is, Grand Theft Auto Trilogy that just came out is, Batman, all 3 games plus all DLC is coming December 1st. Okay. I ran into some other games I'm looking at, like Immortal Phoenix Rising. I bought The Walking Dead, the last series that I'm going to go back and play. I've really been wanting to see what happened in Carolina and stuff like that. So the reason why I bring it up is because, as you can see, my game over here is Madden. Okay. And one of the things that I noticed when I looked up, and like I said, not a shot at anybody else, just speaking facts. Okay, you can look it up on YouTube yourself. When I looked up the Rogue Ally and I looked up the Steam Deck and I looked up all these games, and it said that Madden was not running that good and Starfield wasn't running that good. Nintendo Switch does have lots of games you can get and you can't get anywhere else. I mean, this is what I'm saying, right? When I power, like, prime example, take away the disc, because that's kind of like a hardware, right? When I go into my Nintendo Switch, I have never had a problem that has delayed me from playing a game. Now, it doesn't mean that the Steam Deck and the Rogue Ally come with problems. If you have a Steam account and you've always been on Steam, it probably you know how to, flip and dip and what games is this and what games is that. But for us people, like myself, I'm a Mac user, right? So that's the first step of it. Like everything I use is Mac Pro, iPads, iPhones. Like I don't even own nothing against Windows because I used to back in the day, but I don't even own a Windows device. So with the Steam Deck, to be honest, I looked at it and some of the things that took me out was the fact that, and to be honest, if I spend $500, I want to be able to play Madden on the go. Period. I want to be able to play Starfield on the go. Period. I don't want to hear anything about drivers and this game isn't modded from Switch to play it. Like I don't know if a lot of people know Madden has an anti-cheat system in it. So what that means is, like I looked up the videos and the dude was like, "Yeah, I launched Madden and it didn't launch because it can't verify that it's a non-cheater game on the Steam Deck." So then I pop over to the Rogue Ally, and to be honest, I'm like, I don't even really want to pay almost $700 for a handheld because in a way that outranks what I paid for my Xbox and my. I'm not the biggest fan of Steam Deck price. Here's my thing, right? We're gonna get in. Well, I'm gonna get into it, right? I think I paid what I did, and I know a lot of streamers. One second. I know a lot of streamers and a lot of content creators don't actually say this sort of stuff, right? But I'm gonna tell you straight up, one of the best deals I could have ever did was going into GameStop. Excuse me, I had to get some liquids. One of the best things I could say smartest things I could have did was going into GameStop, trading in my previous Nintendo towards my Switch. Because basically, by the time I traded in my Switch and a couple of other gaming items I wasn't using, I think I only paid like $150, $200 to upgrade to OLED. So altogether, I think my original Switch I bought when it came out for about 300 and some change. I sold that to GameStop for about 2 and some change. So I lost 100, right? Then I bought the Switch again from GameStop, a second one for like, I want to say 2 or 300, right? Then I traded that in towards my OLED. So when I traded in towards the OLED, I think it was only like, I want to say like maybe $100 to $200 difference. Yeah, some content creators don't include the price, and OLED gets great value. I think a lot of people had this thing where they say, yeah, I don't trade in. I trade in, okay? And don't get me wrong, like I said, I live a blessed life, but I'm not just gonna go out here and pay random prices, right? I love when I go into GameStop. I always walk over to the Steam Deck and play on it a little bit. It's not working anymore because I guess people broke it. You know how it is. You can't have anything nice. And I saw the Rogue Ally in Best Buy. But what I realized was, don't get me wrong, I kind of thought about it like, number one, I don't own a Windows device. So if I go to plug this device in, plug it in. If I go to play it and they say, oh, well, you got to update the drivers, where am I going to update the drivers? Like, what Windows device am I going to plug this into, right? Same thing with Steam. A lot of Steam games don't run on Mac, okay? So where would I go to, have a profile, I think that even with Xbox, I'm going to say something that may not be popular to a lot of other Xbox people. Who knows how they may feel. To me, Xbox is going in another direction. At one moment, they're talking about, I heard Phil Spencer say, I got my Rogue Ally and I'm playing Starfield. And I'm like, it's an $800 handheld. Like, so you telling me I just paid $600 something for my Xbox Series X. I need to pay $800 to play Starfield on the road? Like, you guys couldn't have came out with a $200 handheld or even a $300 or $400 handheld. Look at that PlayStation Portable. I'm going to tell you something right now. You can't count the PlayStation Portable next to the Nintendo Switch, so that's why I don't include it. But at first, I didn't really recognize the use of it. But now, hey, looks like a great handheld to me. If you're on a PlayStation 5 and you're in the house and you want to play Spider-Man or you want to play God of War or something like that, Very great handheld. The only reason why I am leaning more towards something I'm about to get into in the topics is because of the fact that, to be honest, as gamers, we have to be smart about what we buy. Okay, especially as gamers, and especially gamers and content creators. Sometimes you get to a point where you have to ask yourself, what am I getting for what am I paying? Okay, and what I've noticed is I thought to myself, and it's kind of true. Okay, I know some people may not see it that way, but here's my thing. There's nothing I have to download on a Nintendo Switch. Okay, when I fire it up, I can go to the game store. I use my cell phone. Sometimes, not even sometimes, a lot of times, I connect my cell phone to my Switch and it pops right on. Like, barely even needs a jump. Now don't get me wrong. You may get to a loading screen that's a second or two, slower than what it would have normally been. But at the same time, I've never run into issues, headaches, okay? If the only thing, Lord forbid, if something was to happen to my Switch, but how would that happen? I would have to be doing something dangerous like downloading content or trying to jailbreak it or something like that. If I buy this Rogue Ally and then they were talking about like the main thing that kind of took me away from it was they were like, well, it's a portable PC. Like I found a fellow content creator told the truth. He was like, it's a portable PC, but it's not really made to play video games. So I'm like, okay. So so not on top of the price, but also on top of the price is the fact that this is not made to play video games. It plays video games. It can play video games, but it's a Windows device. It's like a portable Windows computer, right? So because Windows doesn't want to get into the portable handheld game, they mentioned the Rogue Ally. To me, the reason why I feel as though Switch is king is because, like Caleb was saying, games that you can't get, okay, and there's great value for what you're going to get, okay? You can't, let me tell you something, and it's the second part number 2. The second Switch will be even better, and I'm planning on getting it. Now, here's the thing. We're not going to sit up here and talk 800 million rumors and 700, Reddit threads and stuff like that. In my opinion, do I feel as though Nintendo is going to come out with another Switch next year? Probably, to be honest. A lot of people might ask, well, if you feel as though a Switch is coming out next year, well, why would you go and get a Switch now for the price? I'm going to get into what Black Friday was like, too. That's one of the topics, okay? And I didn't have to go through that. I didn't have to go stand in line looking for a deal. And I'm going to tell you right now, I ended up with the limited edition Mario edition of Nintendo. Oh, so what that is the limited edition Mario Special Edition is a Nintendo Switch where it's all red, and in the what do you call that? In the dock, right? They have little Mario coins. So I was able to get a limited edition around the time I came and got it. I don't know if it was because they had a lot on hand, or I don't know if it was because we were close to the holidays and basically they had a lot, but I got lucky, and I love the fact that I got lucky because now what a lot of people are finding out is it's going to be hard to find these OLEDs and get a value on them. You see what I'm saying? Like, what I plan on doing, this is just me, and word of advice to anybody that owns a Switch that's thinking about it. Set your money aside now. Okay, my advice, set some money aside now. In all of my years of gaming, I've never seen a company tell you what they're going to do next until it's ready to do it. What that means is, if Nintendo said right now, before Black Friday, right? Well, it's still considered Black Friday weekend. Cyber Monday's coming up, right? If Nintendo Switch would have said to everybody, yeah, next year we're bringing out a Nintendo Switch 2 and it's going to cost more and it's going to be more powerful, and let's say hypothetically they got Madden, and when the new WWE game comes out, they're getting that, and they got 2K and they got Mario, and they got MLB The Show, and they're coming out with new Mario games and all sorts of stuff, nobody would go into the store and buy a Switch on Black Friday or Christmas. Okay, so what that would create is a fall off in their sales. They're not going to do that. Now, what they possibly could do, because the Gaming Awards obviously comes out around the time of Christmas, they could drop a trailer for a game that's going to come out next year, or they could outright say that they're coming out with a Switch 2 at the Game Awards. But as far as to me, if I had to guess, putting out, like kind of, not to say guesses and just a shot in the dark, but as a person that's been playing Nintendo since the green screen, I call it green screen gaming, right? If I had to say anything, I think it's out before the holidays. Whether that be October, I don't see them bringing it out in November, December. Because if they bring it out, and don't get me wrong, if they bring it out in November, December, they have to announce it in the beginning of the year. And you also have to see the gap that's going to be created by people. Because a lot of people are going to sell their Switches. A lot of people are going to go to pawn shops. My best advice is take your stuff to GameStop. I know everybody says, well, why would you go to GameStop? Because I'm pretty sure you can get at least $100-something off your Switch and be in a situation where it's not that hard of a blow. Okay? That way, when you go to upgrade, you didn't break the bank. Okay? So the reason why I'm planning on getting the Nintendo Switch 2, depending on when it comes out and they tell me what it does and where it actually how much it's going to be priced. I could say right now, because the last Switch cost about $300, close to $400, right? As long as it doesn't cost more than a PlayStation or Xbox Series X, I'm okay with that. Now, if they want to charge, let's say, Rogue Ally prices of $700-800, then it would have to be doing a hell of a lot. Okay? Like, I would have to get Madden, 2K, WWE, Grand Theft Auto 6. I'm talking about I want the works. You ain't telling me I'm getting Mario for $800. You're going to have a little bit more than that. So that's why I don't really believe myself that they're going to go into the $700-800 range. Now, do I think they're going to break the bank at $4 or $5? Possibly. It depends on what they're bringing. There's no way, if I had to guess, I could be wrong. I don't believe that this next Switch misses Madden. Okay? Now, would that change me from streaming Madden? Hell no. Like, I'm the type of person as a gamer where if Madden comes, let's say the Nintendo Switch 2 next year or whenever, right? I say next year because it looks like they're getting around to it. Let's say next year they announce, the Nintendo Switch coming out in, October 11th, right? And they say that Madden will be available on the Switch and all these other games, but it's $500. I don't have a problem with that because I'm getting something new. Now, if you tell me, okay, there's a new Switch coming out and, it's still low in graphics and certain things like that where we don't get games, then I have to make my mind up if I'm going to get it. But I'm the type of person that typically, to tell you the truth, the majority of the time, I'm the type of person that feels it's better to buy something and have it than it is to think about if you need it. Because what you have to understand is, and just a word of advice, if you like, they also have a huge kid audience, so they can't make it super expensive. That's the other part as well. The average parent is, that, like, don't get me wrong, because the Switch is made for kids and adults, right? Like, a kid couldn't play The Witcher, but a kid could play Mario. So they sell to both markets. If they go up to $700-800, the average parent come Christmas is not going to say, hey, I'm going into GameStop to spend $800 on a handheld for my 7-year-old child, Whereas if they say, okay, the new Nintendo Switch costs $500 or even $600, right? Number one, they could take their Switch back in there, or at the same time, the average parent. Jesus, what's up with you? How's your day treating you? OBJ asks, building an NFL team franchise, not quarterback or running back. Give me 3 players to put on the team. I would say Brian Burns, Asante Samuel Jr., and DK Metcalf, just to give you 3 random people. Or actually, and I'm not even giving you Eagles. So I would say DK Metcalf, Brian Burns, and Asante Samuel Jr. will give you some good people. How you doing, Jesus? How's things working with you? My day is good, man. Just got Madden 24, waiting for... Oh, you're going to love Madden 24. Not a problem, OBJ. Always here to help the community. Jesus Daily, you're going to love Madden 24. It's a great game. So, yeah, the thing of it is, what we were saying was basically... let me get my notes back open. I don't know why my phone closed again. So the thing of it is, right? Hold on 1 second. I gotta sneeze. I don't want to sneeze in you guys' ear. 1 second. Okay, I avoided it. I'm doing a relocation series, all 32. Okay, that's nice. That's nice. Uh, I need a tissue, actually. Of course, I need a tissue when none are in sight. Oh, just a little bit of winter phlegm. So yeah, the thing of it is, I don't see them saying that, because here's the thing. Let's say they come out and say, the new Nintendo Switch, Madden 25, WWE 2K25, NBA 2K25, $800. Adults, we're not going to care, because to me, the only people that's going to be mad, and that's why I said what I said about the Rogue Ally and the Steam, not the Steam Deck so much, because the Steam Deck has Steam behind it, but with this Rogue Ally thing, that's why I said what I said about it, because, okay, you have an $800 game that plays a couple games that get added to it. If the Switch costs $800, 9 times out of 10, the hardware on that John would probably be next level, but they would lose the child audience. They not even just the child. They would lose certain people. Certain people don't spend hundreds, close to $1,000 on gaming equipment. They're not going to do that. That's why some people don't stream, because they're not going to buy, a Yeti mic and computers and tablets and systems and all of that, right? So if I can say anything, I don't see the price being that, but I'm gonna tell you like this: as long as anything close to my tap out is the Rogue Allies price of $800. That's my tap out. Anything over that, I think that I would have to wait to see what it is. But the reason why I said one of the reasons why I'm not gonna wait is because I remember when the Switch came out. When the Switch came out, I bought my Switch, and then after a while, my family had decided, my wife and other family members had decided, hey, excuse me, this is a good handheld, and I want one, right? If I remember correctly, we had to end up going through like OfferUp and Amazon and stuff like that, and checking GameStops, and every GameStop we went to, I think we went to like 3 or 4, and every one of them was like, we don't have no switches. We don't have a single one. We got some lights, but we don't have a single switch. The reason why there's a lot of switches out there now is because the thing has been out 5+ years. Okay? But when that new one comes out, let me explain it to you, because I've questioned GameStop workers. Okay? And also, to be honest, myself too, I've worked in retail, not directly in electronics, but I have worked in retail stores and, let's say big name stores that sell electronics. And what I've come to understand how to explain it to us is, when a product gets released, they're going to have a certain amount of spots. So what that means is, every GameStop in your area, let's say you have 3 GameStops in your area, right? Each GameStop is going to be given maybe, let's say, 100 to 200 signups, meaning 100 to 200 people can walk in, put down $50 to $100 on the system, and as long as they pay it off before it comes out, Nintendo will ship those systems to those stores. After those 100 or 200 run out, basically, there's no more Switches until the Switch comes out, and then they get another shipment for, say, Black Friday. But we'll be getting into what Black Friday was for me and why I feel I would never go that route again. But in my advice, don't wait for that. Don't put yourself in a situation, if you have interest in it, okay? If you have interest in it, don't put yourself in a situation where you have to deal with scalpers, because if the system's $500, they're going to be selling it for $800 because they know you have no choice. Same thing with OfferUp. Yeah, OfferUp's a great place. It's not a scam. If you've never used it, it's not a scam. Well, I know I use it out here in Washington. I don't know how it is everywhere else. But it's not a scam. It's not something that steals your information. It's just an app that puts people together with other people that want to sell or buy something, right? But the thing of it is, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be sold at a higher price. So what you have to understand is, to avoid being left out and avoid paying a higher price, Rio, thank you for the likes. Thank you for the likes. To avoid being left out and possibly not having, to avoid being left out and not having that system, for me, I'm going to go into GameStop like soon as it gets announced. Now, I know you probably can't go out in the same day, because I remember when they announced the Switch, I had stopped past a GameStop maybe like a day or two later, and I was able to put down, I think it was only like $5, $5 or $10, something like that. But I know with this new one, you're probably gonna need to put down at least Rio. Thank you for them likes. Caleb, thank you for them likes. Thank you for them likes. I know with the new one, you're probably gonna have to put down, especially if the price goes up. If it goes up to about 500, GameStop might require like, let's say somewhere in the neighborhood of probably about $50 to $100. And then Best Buy and Walmart and all these guys will be selling it. But the difference of it is, just as a word of advice, you're going to have to buy the system at full cost. So what that means is, let's say hypothetically they announce the system March 1st, right? I can walk into GameStop March 3rd and put down $20 and then make a payment on it whenever I want to make it. And then by the time it comes out in October, as long as it's paid out, I got it. If you walk into Walmart or Best Buy or something like that and go to get that system, they're going to make you pay that whole price up front. So it's up to you. You know, it's your finances. Do what you're going to do. But a word of advice from Salt Aries, put something down on that system before it comes out. That's what I'm planning on doing. Okay, number 3. Where's the industry headed, in my opinion? Okay, I don't know if a lot of people know, but streaming and portableness is starting to take over. Okay? And what I mean by that is, take prime example with the PlayStation Portable. I didn't say it was trash. What I said was the PlayStation Portable should be able to be played outside of the home. Now, what I discovered is that they didn't want to do that. Okay? They wanted to look for a handheld for people that are in the house that want to play on their couch or want to play on their bed or something like that. Right? But they still released a handheld. Okay? Xbox, I think the main reason why Xbox myself has not released a handheld is because of the fact that they can't get authorization to do it. That's just me. Because PlayStation brought out the PlayStation Portable like it was nothing. You see what I'm saying? That joint came out of thin freaking air. Okay? Nobody, no announcers, radio, thank you for them likes, thank you for them likes. No announcer, I looked at the screen. No analyst or gaming content creator that's a news creator at the same time. Nobody said anything about the portable because they kept it a secret. You know. Now, in my opinion, is it a good handheld? Yup. Today or tomorrow, if I was in the market for a second handheld, which I somewhat thought I was or might possibly be in, I would look to the PlayStation Portable before I look to the handheld. Before I look to the Rogue Ally or the Steam, because it's something different with the PlayStation Portable, with a Switch, because they're not competing against each other. You see what I'm saying? When you got consoles, yeah, that's one thing. You can play the PlayStation, Xbox, or Nintendo. That's cool. Nintendo's ahead not only just because of the games, but they're also ahead because of the fact that you can get up and walk away. You know, a lot of people, you got to understand, they have school. Some people have some people have school to deal with. Some people have homework that they have to deal with when they come home from their school. Some people have to deal with, some people like myself are married men, and we have wives and responsibilities that we have to keep up with around the household. Some people are wives themselves. They have children that they have to keep up with. There's some people that have 9-to-5 jobs that they have to work, and they don't have time to come home and say, okay, I'm going to take over the TV and sit down and just, get it. Yeah. I'm just gaming, So sometimes your kid is running around. Sometimes you got a date where you're going out with your friends or something like that. When it first came out, everybody looked at the Nintendo Switch like, okay, it's this kiddie thing. And I'm going to call it fair. I sold my first one because I got bored with what was on there. I was like, this thing's boring. A prime example, y'all have seen me shoot. If you haven't, stop past YouTube, SR51 Media, stop past SR51Media.com. Been doing this for a long time. Okay, anybody that knows me know, yeah, I'm playing Madden, but I'm killing and shooting and banging and clanging with everything that came out. I was there day one with Cyberpunk, shooting it up. I was there Starfield, day one, shooting it up. I was there with this Call of Duty before the one that just came out, shooting it up. Battlefield 2042, ordered the deluxe edition, was there before it came on. Video on the TikTok. You see what I'm saying? Michigan beat Ohio State. Next stop, Big Ten. Yeah, that was a pretty good game. I watched that game. Pretty good game. So where I'm going with this is, yeah, when the Switch, didn't have any real let's say, in my opinion, oh, that's a nice throw and a nice catch. Who's that, Hill? Oh, you ain't catching Tariq Hill. The thing about it was when the Switch first came out, they didn't have a lot of games, you know. But I'm gonna tell you one game, one standout game that I have at my hand of God. I have 100+ hours in that you probably wouldn't believe. Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing New Horizons is one of the best games of this generation, point blank, period. It has inspired almost every other game in every other platform to start making what? Buildable stuff. Look at Disney Dreamlight Valley. Look at some of the games that came out after Animal Crossing came out. Not because, oh, you know, everybody's like, oh, it's just a Switch game. No, it's more than that. You know, it ain't about, like, at first I was like, well, what can you do in this game? Then when you start to realize you could build and live in your own village, it becomes its own thing. You see what I'm saying? I remember being so excited to get it. I thought to myself, I was like, I'm not going to lie. You know, me and the wife started playing it. I didn't have much interest. Then before you know it, I started doing everything. I started building my house. I still remember the turnip exchange. I don't know if a lot of people remember that. The turnip exchange wasn't even cheating the game. What happened was during the pandemic, everybody came together on, I think it was Reddit. And they organized, somebody had organized the turnip exchange where we would fly to people's island and sell stuff to get money to come back because they might have had a bigger route, right? The turnip was really good for money. You see what I'm saying? It was one of those things where all of us probably have a good couple million bells, because that's what the money is in the game, is bells. All of us probably have a good couple million bells in our account right now. You know, I was able to expand my house. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I have a living room, a bedroom, a kitchen, a bathroom, and an upstairs room, all in my house, right? Now, do I play it every day? No, I don't play it every day. Every now and again, I want to get on and try it out. Same thing with Pokemon. I done got back into that. Now, I'm going to tell you what happened was one of the things that I did mess up and do. When I bought my new Switch, I didn't transfer my data from my Pokemon game. So it was the original Pokemon game. I think it was the name of it was Pokemon Pikachu and Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. My wife had got Eevee. She didn't really like it that much, so she gave it away to a family member. And I had Pikachu. So I played it. I only had 3 people left to beat, and I would have beat the game. And didn't transfer the data. Now I got to start all over again. Now, am I going to start all over again? Possibly, because I really like the game. I don't think I'm going to sell it, anything like that, because for me, what this is this is a reproduction of the game that I played when I was a child, not too far into child, you know, just a little bit into, I would say teenager, not child, into teenager, where it's basically the original, because I like the original 150 Pokemon, you know, the ones that are, the 150 Pokemon that are, well, I should say 151, which are all 150 of the Pokemon, including Mew, and then there's Mewtwo, including Mewtwo and Mew, takes it to about 151. Now, the only reason why I say that is I don't know the new Pokemon. You know, am I willing to learn? Yep. Definitely willing to learn who the new Pokemon are, who's the new guy. It's, you know, I'm one of those type of people. I remember when Ash Ketchum first started with his first Pokemon. I saw an article a couple days ago where he retired because he won the championship. You know, he's finally the best the best Pokemon catcher in the year. Hold on one second. I remember, grab some water. I remember Caleb said, yeah, they have 3 protagonists now and Ash is gone. Yeah, that's the thing about it. I remember, you know, Ash Ketchum, when Pikachu zapped him and didn't want to be his running mate. I remember when Charizard used to burn him. I remember the Squirtle Squad. I remember Team Rocket with Meowth and all of that. So it was a great game to buy. But what it has done for me owning a Switch has made me say, you know what? If the new Pokemon games is like an open RPG and you get to run around and do all this stuff, why am I limiting myself to just the old Pokemon? And then I also realized the reason why I wasn't playing my Switch was because I wasn't feeding it the way I feed my PlayStation and Xbox. And we'll be getting into managing stuff later. But basically, what I realized was, if you want the system to be good, you got to put some money into it. You got to get some good games. When I fire it up now, if I could just tell you right now the games, some of the games I have with no exaggeration, right? In my lineup right now, and I play a lot of different games, right? But in my lineup on my Switch right now, I have installed Hogwarts Legacy, Animal Crossing New Horizons, Deadliest Catch game. I'm a big Discovery Channel person. Excuse me. I'm a big Discovery Channel person. I love almost everything on Discovery Channel. I love Deadliest Catch. I love Bering Sea Gold. I love when they digging for gold. I love when they catching crab. I love when they racing cars. I don't know what happened. I just got a little older and fell in love with Discovery Channel. So I just got to the Deadliest Catch game. I got NBA 2K24, which I am going to be streaming a little bit later, once I get it set up and stuff. Marvel Ultimate Alliance The Black Order, Overwatch 2, Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, The Outer Worlds, Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist, Saints Row the Third, Street Outlaws 2. I got a crypto mining simulator game because I wanted to see what it would take. The Walking Dead, the final season. Mortal Phoenix Rises, I was trying on the demo of it. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. Super Bloody Hockey, which is a game that I stumbled across this holiday. When I was a kid, the hockey games used to be in little graphics. And what would happen is during the game, they would throw down their gloves and they would box. And I found a game that does that, and I had to get it, right? DC Universe Online, Xenoverse 2, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, Tetris 99, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Super Dragon Ball Heroes, and so far, yeah. And I have the package I got to pay for to get it, but I had a package already downloaded for the for the Game Boy, for the Genesis, the Nintendo 64, Game Boy Advance, and Super Nintendo, okay? So the reason why I said that was so that way you could get an understanding. Do you play Stardew Valley? I haven't tried it yet. I never tried it. I might try it out. I've never tried it. A lot of people say it's a good game. The only reason why I didn't get it was because I felt like it was kind of close to what it is on Switch, on Animal Crossing. But I was waiting to try that out. I might actually, because Caleb, you brought that up, I may look on the Switch store and see what it is. I have 400 hours on it. Yeah, that's what I was saying. These games, the thing about it is when you can pull up from the TV and you can say, hey, I'm going to go over here to my living room, or I'm going to go to, like, sometimes, don't get me wrong, as a married man, I want to do what I want to do, but I still want to be around my family. You see what I'm saying? Like, I want to be like, I'm on the couch next to my wife, but I'm playing Stardew Valley or Animal Crossing or NBA 2K24. When I'm in front of this game setup, I'm in here locked in to just this area. You see what I'm saying? So I feel as though where we have went is that, to be honest, the Nintendo Switch, the handheld 2 that's going to come out, is going to be better in my eyes than any other handheld that's out because of the support. Even just to make you aware, there was, and not saying that, speaking on rumors, there was a supposed rumor that at the last award, the last tech demo, that Nintendo showed off something about a very powerful Switch. In my eyes, I would probably go more closer to it's going to be on par with the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox Series X. The PlayStation 4 and the Xbox Series S. Now, why would Nintendo do that? Because you have to think of all the games that have come out since those consoles came out. Okay? Think about it. Like, to me, I don't think Nintendo gives us... Bless you. I don't think Nintendo gives us Xbox games or PlayStation games. When Xbox said that they wanted to put Call of Duty on the Switch, that, to me, to be honest, I don't see that. First of all, they got to finish the deal, whatever's going on there, and I'm definitely not getting into that because everybody in the world done talked that into the ground. But Xbox has to finish acquiring Call of Duty, and then they have to talk with Nintendo. Then they have to come up with prices. But to me, the second the Nintendo Switch gets Call of Duty, I'm buying that. Because now, you see what I'm saying? Now I'm sitting down in the living room, full on Call of Duty match. There's going to be different. If anything, you'll probably be able, because with me, to be honest, it also works with my job. Not getting too personal about what I do, but basically when I'm at my job, luckily, Lord willing, I have a job where I work with my partner. So when we're in separate spaces and we're working, I'm the type of person that's like, man, I pull out the Switch. My boss knows, like, hey, look, I may be doing this, But they know I'm the type of dude. I'm on the Switch. Up, we gotta do something. Sit it right down. All right, what we gotta do? Bing bang, boom boom. It's over. All right, cool. Right back to the Switch. Like nothing ever happened. You know, that's where a lot of hours came in from Animal Crossing, because when I was at work, I wanted something to play that didn't require the internet. You know, so in my eyes, that's why, you know, just to answer that in topic 2, that's why I feel as though the Nintendo Switch is the best handheld, and also why I'm going to get the Nintendo Switch too. COD would be a great for the Switch because you can play it at Starbucks or anywhere with Wi-Fi. You see what I'm talking about? Bless you. People get to a point where what ends up happening is Call of Duty is looking at just like, okay, like, I'm going to take straight up. Call of Duty Mobile, amazing game. I'm talking about perfect execution, right? Of taking a console game and putting it on a handheld device. Perfect execution. So Call of Duty is probably looking at this like, okay, you know, Xbox looking at it like, hey, we can put every Call of Duty game that's ever come out on the Switch. And the Switch is going to probably charge, let's be honest, they're probably going to charge $50 to $60 for every Call of Duty game that comes out. But think about it. Think about playing, like, I know the last Call of Duty I played that I really liked was, story-wise, the last story that I played that I really liked was Ghost. Call of Duty, what was it, Ghost? Yeah, I think it was Call of Duty Ghost, one of the first ones that came out when the new Xbox came out, right? Now, a lot of people said they didn't like it, but to me, the story was amazing. That's one thing about COD games. I'm not going to sit up here and claim that I'm the best shooter and all this other sorts of stuff when it comes to the multiplayer, but their main stories are incredible, okay? I would buy a bundle with 20 or 30 of them in there just to get them all at once, to be able to go through the story and have it on my Switch and be like, you know, just getting it out in the living room and stuff like that. So that's why I feel as though when it comes pound for pound, looking at what's going to come handheld-wise, I can't see putting out for something that doesn't get complete support. You know, $800 for a handheld that's not built to play video games, then this ain't a handheld. This is a computer. The Switch is a gaming console. You can, like that commercial, that is real. You know, sometimes I have done that, like been playing a game and then I come home and I just slide it into the slot and take it out. Now, one thing I can say I don't like, one of the things I can say I like, being honest, because I always keep it real with the 51 Dynasties. One of the things I can say I don't like is I don't like the controllers. I don't know if I had a thing in front of me. I think I do. Basically, I don't like that little hand thing where you take the controllers out and then you slide it into that little thing where the controllers is like this and it's kind of small. I don't like that. So what I decided is I need to go out and get me, later on, I'm going to go out and get me a controller for my Nintendo Switch. I don't want a corded one, you know. I want that wireless controller, $800 handheld without video games. It's just a phone without App Store. I mean, I'm looking at it like, don't get me wrong, especially when I went to Best Buy, I'm looking at this thing, I was like, oh man, that joint look nice. $7.99? Now let's be real about this. $7.99 is not $7.99. $7.99 is $7.99, but you gotta also consider tax, okay? Tax is gonna be at least tax is gonna be at least $20 to $30, maybe $50. Okay, so now we're at $8.50, right? And then the other part of it is you have no insurance. You have maybe a 30-day window of insurance, right? So if you want to put any sorts of insurance plan on it, that's another $100 to $200. Bro, you just spent $1,000 on a handheld. $1,000, you could have bought an Xbox Series S and a PlayStation 5 and still had change. And maybe a Nintendo Switch Lite. You see what I'm saying? So to me, if I'm going to spend that amount of money, I got to be getting something back in return. See, Nintendo might go that high, but if Nintendo go that high, best believe that damn thing going to have every sort of graphic and rate. They're already talking ray tracing and bigger screen. This thing, I don't know how big this thing is. I think this thing was like, what, an 8-inch screen or 7-inch screen, something like that. They're already talking about a bigger screen than that and different buttons and all sorts of stuff. So I'm like, you know, I don't see them going that high, but at the same time, I will keep you updated about it, and we will continue to talk about it. But to me, I'm waiting for the Nintendo Switch too. I'm not going out there and buying a second one, you know. And then that's why I was saying where the industry, you know, speaking on where the industry is headed, in my opinion, I believe we're going portable. You know, my hand that got when I was on a coffee break from work. Right now, I have because I like Coach. Right, me and my wife like Coach. Right, not because of like celebrityness or nothing, but because like it was one of the first brands that when we got together we actually started buying stuff from, right? So cut a long story short, I have a sling bag that I carry now, right? In my sling bag, I have my headphones, 2 pairs of headphones, and my Switch, and all of my games, right? So when I'm moving around, if I get into a situation anywhere, I'm talking like anywhere. I could be charging. We got a Tesla. I could be charging a daggone car. You know what I mean? Getting it, right? So to me, that's why I'm like, myself personally, I think a lot of us, it's kind of like consoles. You know, the one thing I can't see a lot of people doing is buying multiple handhelds. I thought about that at one point. At one point, I thought about, well, maybe I should get a Steam Deck or maybe I should get a Rogue Ally. And I'm like, well, I'm not getting rid of my Switch. And then I'm thinking to myself, am I really going to play those? You know, like when I go out in the streets, do I really want to carry 2 handhelds? You know, like, is it really going to work? It's different in consoles, but like when you're actually out in the world, I don't know about that, right? The next one. How will the brand be changing going forward in regard to gaming news? Okay. Other than the headache, Nintendo Switches are good for car rides. You know, the thing about it is, I'm going to tell you like this. I travel. Okay, I used to live in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Shout out to Philly. Philly stand up. You know, it's a Philly thing, right? But at the same time, I moved out here to Washington. Love my new home and stuff like that. Love everything about it. But there's a lot of times that we travel. You know, sometimes I'll fly to Philly. We'll fly to Philly as a couple to visit the family or do something in the holidays. Man, when I'm sitting on that airplane, I'm talking about. And I ain't the only one. And they ain't kids. I'm talking grown adults. They whipping out their computers. I see there was a lady next to me because we weren't able to get the seat free next to us, right? There was a lady next to me. She whipped out her computer. She was typing away and stuff like that. I'm assuming she was writing some sort of write up for her job. Who knows? She could have been writing a book for all I know. Another dude was on his computer. Another person was watching a movie. But on a previous flight, there were some teenagers that was with their parents. Each one of them whipped out a Switch, getting it. I'm like, it reaches all ages. Now, when I looked up, you know, they were playing something Mario based, and I was playing Dragon Ball Z. But at the same time, I'm like, I could easily leave this Dragon Ball Z game and go into The Walking Dead. Or if I get it, I can go into The Witcher. Or I can go into, what's the other one? Mario Kart 8. You know, so much different stuff where it hits all categories. So to me, you know, that's why I'm willing to wait on the second one, right? As far as the brand changing when it goes to gamer news, what's going to happen is I'm going to start to cover the news more. So what that means is I'm not going to always launch a, 2 to 3 hour long podcast. What I'm going to start to do is I'm going to start to post shorts. So it's going to be just me talking about one topic for however long I'm talking about it for. I'm going to post it to TikTok. It's going to be on the page and we'll leave it there. Okay? Because of the fact that one thing I can say, which I don't like, to be honest, is non-gamers reporting on gaming. Okay, 1 second. What I don't like is, don't get me wrong, and I respect everybody that's done it, okay? All the big name gamer news channels out there. I'm not talking about the content creators. I'm talking about the big brands that we all know that make up the scores for the games and the news for the games and all this. Here's one thing that I noticed why you don't hear, and I can give you a prime example of what will change, right? I'm going to start to do reviews for games after the first couple hours. Because what I realized is that, to be honest, that is something that's missing from my brain. Okay? You guys probably want to know what my opinion of Madden is. You know, I've been playing it forever. Okay? So you probably want to know, hey, is it a good buy? Is it a good game? What's good about it? What's not good about it? And you want to know from a gamer. When you, think about it. When you take somebody's opinion and they say, oh, it's the same game. Nothing has changed. I'm like, when was the last time you played Madden? When was the last time you played 2K? When was the last time you played MLB The Show? Because these are not the same games, bro. Now, if you played Madden in 1995 and you ain't played Madden all the way up to this, and the only experience you got on Madden in the past couple of years is you was over your friend's house and you played 5 minutes of it, that's not playing the game. You know, like me, I wouldn't go out here right now just because it's the Game Awards. I own a PlayStation 5, but I didn't buy Spider-Man 2 yet, right? I'm not gonna trash the game off of what I've seen from highlights. You know, I'm not gonna like take what's the new game I just got on and put a couple hours into? Harry Potter, right? I'm gonna get to that in a minute. I got Hogwarts, right? I played Hogwarts Legacy up. I played about, I want to say about 30, 35 hours of it on PlayStation 5. Am I quick to write a review? A mid-season review, yeah. But you can't write, in my opinion, you can't write a full review on a game until you beat it. At least once. Or at least beat the main story. Sometimes I read articles and I hear people talking and they're like, yeah, you know, this game ain't that and that game ain't that. And I go to their page and I'm like, they don't even play the game. You know, they don't stream, they don't do nothing. This is just a person that bought the game, played 3 or 4 hours, turned it in, and is like, yeah, it's a bad trash game. I'm like, what? So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be stepping up for my brand and for the 51 Dynasties and giving my opinion, you know? And that's right, Nico. Go Birds, go Eagles. I'm going to be stepping up and giving my opinion, not just my opinion based on, you know, because I own the system, but because I actually play it, you know? And you've seen me play it. You've seen me play, I don't know, I got to have over 100 hours in Madden. Easy. Okay? Easy. I got to have over 100 hours in Madden. 100 hours in Animal Crossing. At least over 40 hours in Starfield. At least another probably 30 hours in Hogwarts Legacy, right? So for me, I feel like I'm a gamer that is equipped to talk about the news. Same thing with being able to contact me. How many times do you read something horrendous about a game you like, and then when you go, Nico, thank you for them likes. How many times do you read something horrendous about a game you like, and then a person doesn't even stream? They're like, yeah, this game right here is trash. There's nothing good about it. This whole system is trash, and I give it a 3 out of 10. And then you go to their platform, and like they have never streamed this game in their life. They got a review copy for the game. Like, come on, man. You know, like that to me doesn't feel like gamers giving gamers opinions. It feel like people that are journalists giving an article because that's what they're doing. Even with articles. You know why I stopped writing articles on the website? Because I have analytics that show me you guys don't read it. What I noticed was you guys watch the videos. You guys watch YouTube, guys and gals. I don't mean that disrespectful to women. You guys and gals watch the videos on YouTube. You guys watch the streams here. You watch the video playback on the website. You don't go there and read a 300-column article about a game. So why should I write it? You know, that makes no sense. It's a waste of my time, and it's a waste of your time as a member of the 51 Dynasties. So what I decided to do was all news will be digital, period. All news will be either a TikTok short. 9 times out of 10, it's probably going to be a TikTok short and maybe a YouTube short as well. But the difference of it is what's going to happen is it's going to me, one thing I can tell you guys is I'm going to be able to report a lot instantaneously. Because once again, just saying, the job that I have doesn't get mad if I say, hey, give me 5 minutes real quick. I need to step outside and record this video for my channel. You know, I have, to be honest, luckily, me and my wife have very good bosses. And they don't really, you know, get upset. Rio, thank you for them likes. Thank you for them likes. We have really good bosses, and they don't get upset when we have to do stuff like that. Because we're in the era nowadays, if you don't know, of a lot of people starting their own business. You know, a lot of people are workers, but at the same time, businessmen and women on their own time, right? So what's going to be changing is there's going to be more news and a lot of it, okay? Number 6, I picked up Hogwarts on the Switch. Okay, now you heard me mention Hogwarts earlier. So here's my opinion, okay? And if you didn't notice, you can go back to the YouTube channel and you can go back to SR51 Media and you can watch the Hogwarts Legacy streams that I did was live. First thing I noticed was, yes, one thing with the Nintendo Switch is the graphics are not what you would get on a PlayStation 5 and a Xbox Series X. But the one thing that Nintendo has to match that is the fact that I can play Hogwarts Legacy now no matter where I am. No matter where I am on this world, I can play Hogwarts Legacy like that. I can power it on. I can jump into class. I can go explore the world. I got so far in Hogwarts Legacy, I was like at least a good 40 something hours in. And I returned it because I heard that it was coming to the Switch around the time of holidays. And I was like, I'm going to take this PlayStation 5 version back to the store and I'm going to get the one for Switch because it's not about making them compete with each other. But to be honest, I want to have it on the go. See, the Switch is great for games that are like very long. You know, you don't want to. I mean, don't get me wrong. You can buy some games where they're over in a couple minutes, but to me, I feel as though the best games to get for the Switch are the ones where you're playing for hours and hours and hours and hours. Because by the time, to be honest, I feel as though they're the best games. Period. A game that you buy where it's over in like that's one of the main things I pay attention to when they say how long a game should be. Like that's what made me a little bit leery about saying, like I told people, yeah, I'm going to have hundreds of hours in Starfield. And I do. I have a good, I got to look it up, but because I would have to stop this game and look it up. And I didn't even notice this game was tied in the fourth quarter, 14 minutes. It's a good game. And then maybe after this, I don't know who I'm going to put on next because we still going to be talking. But I'm going to put something else on. Thoughts on Mario Party. Let me tell you something. All Mario games good, Caleb. Every last Mario game that's come out looks incredible. I just can't get all of them. I think the next Mario game that I'm looking at, I'm debating right now between Mario Odyssey and Mario, what you call it? Mario Odyssey and Mario RPG, right? The Mario games that I own are Mario Kart 8. I think it's an amazing game. Been playing Mario Kart since 64. But yeah, I think all Mario games are a good buy. They built well. You know, they got big expensive titles. I think it's a good game, right? So, what I'm going to be doing here, and also to let you know, one of the things that I'm going to be bringing to the whole gaming news is not going to be just Nintendo or PlayStation or Xbox or just mobile. It's going to be all of them. Okay? This is nothing new. But what I have to do and what I'm going to do is make it to where it's more consistent. So instead of you, now, yeah, we'll still have a podcast that comes on, but randomly, like, say, tomorrow. You know, if I see something in gaming news, ding, dang, boom, hey, guys, this is how I feel about it, da, 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 this is what I think about it, this is what you should do. All right, have a great rest of your day. Am I going to do it once a day? Nope. I'm going to do it whenever, however many times I feel as though I need to address a topic. It's going to be game related, though. You know, maybe sports as well. Maybe we'll put a little sports thing in there, but mainly gaming, you know. So that way you can know, hey, when I get an alert, SR51 Media just dropped the video. That may be a video leading to a stream, but it also may be just gamer news in general. So that way you can get caught up because I want you as 51 Dynasties to be able to feel that not only are you getting amazing game streams, but you're also getting game news as well. I don't want you to have to go sit in a room where somebody's talking down about your console just to get information, you know? So I will be changing that shortly. The next one was the Hogwarts Legacy thing. So the Hogwarts Legacy, what I was saying was, so far in the Nintendo Switch version, how far I've got is I'm at the sorting part. I'm at my first night when I woke up in my house dorm. And one of the things that I noticed was the controls were very good. I noticed that, the main spell that you use, the one that you just do, it's kind of like a fire and gun type of thing. You just hit the top right button. You know, the Joy-Cons to be able to move around and stuff. If you play any sort of game with a controller, you already know, left is walk, right is look, things like that. To me, the game is incredible. Okay, there's not too much difference, in my opinion, between the there's not too much difference between the Xbox and PlayStation version and the Switch. The only thing that I've noticed is different is the what's the name of that thing? Is the what you call it? Graphics. So the only thing's a little bit different is, I think the Hogwarts Legacy on Switch is a little bit graphically less than the PlayStation 5, but it's not jittery. It's not janky. It didn't close on me. I didn't see, fuzziness in the background or anything. Because you gotta understand, sometimes people, they'll have a character here, but then they'll zoom all the way into the background, something off in the distance, and they're like, "Look at how it looks." I'm like, why would I care? Like once I get in the battle and and I was running this thing, I completely forgot to even look around for graphics. I just started looking around for graphics and one of the things I loved too was I have a Hogwarts Legacy account. So they kept my house data and my wand that I had, and I got all these special what do you call it? I got all these special gifts for getting it on the Nintendo Switch. I don't understand how. I guess it's the way Nintendo's working. But what I've noticed is when Nintendo get games from Xbox or PlayStation, they get all the DLC. Like with the Batman game, the reason that makes me interested in that is because they said that it's all three games with all the DLC. That's probably easily like a good, to be honest, probably got a good 40 to 60 to maybe 100 hours per game. Okay? So you're talking maybe a couple 100 hours per game. Harry Potter Hogwarts is definitely a 100-hour game because I don't know anybody. Everybody was talking about nobody beat it. Nobody beat it. That's because people are still playing it. Okay? Just because somebody doesn't beat something doesn't mean that it's not a good game or they put it down. There's a lot of things that came out. Madden came out. I'm just getting to a point now where I realize like, hey, we might need to mix in some 2K. We might need to mix in some PlayStation. Maybe we fire the PlayStation up and find some family friendly games over there we could check out. I got a Nintendo Switch. Maybe we can get this going. But staying on with it, if I had to say anything, going into this holiday, that Hogwarts is a very good game. I don't feel any way, shape, or form upset that I got that game. I feel as though that it's a very good game on the Switch. I wished it would have released earlier, so that way I could have bought it earlier and then was able to get different games around the holidays. But I'm glad that I have it, and I think it's a great game. And Nintendo did an incredible job on taking a game that nobody believed. Go back and look. Nobody believed that game was going to run the way it runs on Nintendo Switch. And to me, there's no difference. The only thing is just the graphics. Everything else is there. The fighting, the traveling. I don't have a broom yet, which is, upsetting. Because I have my own broom where I could just go outside in the yard and jump on it, in the air somewhere. So now I got to get it back up to where I was. But I am interested in playing it. And I like adding to my library. It's made me even realize that I have to buy a bigger memory card because I'm going to be buying more games. So, number 7. I got Ultimate Alliance to Black Order on Switch. Now, I'm going to say something I've said a lot of times. And, it's just how I feel. Okay, it's how I feel about it. Marvel, the Ultimate Alliance to Black Order is the best game Marvel to release in probably the past 5 to 7 years. Now, the reason why I say that is I understand Spider-Man. I understand Miles Morales. I understand Spider-Man 2. But let me tell you something. On the Ultimate Alliance, I'm running with Iron Man, the Hulk, Venom, Wolverine, Spider-Man, Thor. I can run with whoever I want to run with. Okay? And to me, you have to understand, for people that have played Spider-Man already, if I remember, it was probably wasn't it like at least a good 3 or 4 games that came out from Spider-Man Activision games already? So, I've been Spider-Man before. I've never been the Incredible Hulk. I bought, what's the name of that game? Hold on one second. I've been, Spider-Man 4 or 5 times, right? I bought that game that came out, I think it was Marvel Avengers or something like that, right? You know the reason why I bought that game? Because the Hulk was in it. Period. I wanted to play as the Hulk. I buy this game, and then before you know it, they tell everybody's, well, you gotta have so and so amount of people with you to play the game in this feature, and you gotta have This amount, so I load in with people. 2 Hawks, right? Nobody. As soon as we got off the plane, everybody just darted off in different places. And I'm sitting up here like, yo, what is going on with this thing, right? Now, does it make it a bad game? No. Same thing with Spider-Man. Am I gonna get it? Yes. Am I getting it now? Nope. Because when I first saw Spider-Man, which I knew they wasn't gonna let you be Venom the whole time, but what to tell you the truth, I'm a Venom fan. When I was a kid, I liked Spider-Man, but once I found out about Venom, it was over. It's over. I don't like Carnage as much, but Venom is my favorite character more than Spider-Man, Spider-Man Morales. I don't care who they are. Venom is the person I like from that era, from that, I guess you would call comic book world. Okay, I've read the Venom comic books. I've read the thoughts on Oculus. My family member has an Oculus. I think I think virtual reality is very good. The only thing I can say is for some people, virtual reality can make you a little sick. And also, if you're buying an Oculus just to play it, cool. But if you're like a streamer and you're thinking about getting that to set it up, you have to think that there's a lot of equipment that you have to buy, and there's also a lot of space that you have to clear. Like, I have a small space here where if I move my chair, I can probably play in this area where you guys can see me. But the setups and the wires and all that kind of kept me away from it. But I think virtual reality is a very good thing. That's the industry is going in streaming and virtual reality when you look at it. You know, I think it's a very good thing. I just feel like myself that I would want to get around to getting one, but I really wanted the Apple one that came out, the Apple headset thing where you can, do what you want to do. But I'm not paying $3,000 for a headset right now. You have seen Pro Era 2. So the thing of it is, I saw the Oculus where they're coming out, where they came out with like a new one that you can play San Andreas and virtual reality and all these other sorts of things. But what I decided to do was hold off and actually think about maybe buying that package on Switch. The what do you call it? It's the Grand Theft Auto Trilogy Edition, because myself personally, I played the heck out of Grand Theft Auto 3 and Vice City and San Andreas, but I never beat it. I just played because I didn't own a PlayStation. So I would play, shout out to my cousin, he knows who he is. He was originally a PlayStation guy and I was an Xbox guy. So sometimes we would play each other's games. Like I would get Madden and he would play Madden on my system. And then I would play, Grand Theft Auto and stuff on his system when we hung out around. Oh, crap. 1 second. 1 second. Okay, just got a notification. Almost messed up there. Just got a notification. The computer was almost off. So yeah, the thing about it was, I used to play that's where I get my love of PlayStation from is, because my dad had a PlayStation as well. Shout out to my father. But my mother, helping me out when I was younger, ended up getting me, the last system was a Xbox, right? And the reason why I say that is because some people, they see Grand Theft Auto 5 and they're like, well, I want to go back and play those other games. To me, I like Grand Theft Auto 6, and we'll get around to it, but just pausing the topic to answer this question. I like Grand Theft Auto, but I don't think I would like it in virtual reality because, to be honest with you, I can't sit in my house with a headset on and a pair of headphones. Okay, that's just me. Okay, I'm the type of guy, I'm a husband. There's a lot of things I do around the house. Being there for my wife, being there for family members, answering my phone. Being away from my family in the East, sometimes I'll get text messages, phone calls, stuff like that, right? If you ever notice when I'm streaming, Dice, welcome to the 51 Dynasties community. Welcome to one of the best online communities available today, where you are appreciated. Thank you for your support, and welcome into the group. I hope you enjoy the podcast. Just to make you aware, just to make you aware also, Dice, I do normal game streams Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is the Aries Alert Show, episode 21, but my normal game streams will return Monday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, just so you know. Thank you again, Dice, for joining the 51 Dynasties. So the thing about it is, prime example, right? And we got on busting to the other topics, so we'll just leave it at Hogwarts, right? Well, what I was saying about Marvel Alliance, the Black Order. Now, I don't know if you've ever played it, right? But I've played every Ultimate Alliance that came out. The reason why I think it's better, this is just my opinion, okay? The reason why I think it's better than Spider-Man is because Spider-Man, to me, now don't get me wrong, Spider-Man is a great graphical game and it's a great game. But you play as, what I knew was going to happen because I read the comic books was that you play as Venom for a little bit. You're not really Venom. You're the black Spider-Man, you know, the Venom style Spider-Man for a little bit. And then you go back to being, then you go back to being, you know, the regular, everyday red and blue Spider-Man. And you have Miles Morales with you. Now, on Ultimate Alliance, the Black Order, I think after the second stage, if you beat it, right, you meet Spider-Man. And then after halfway through the second stage, you meet Venom. And then after that, you meet all the Spider-Man characters. Well, the vast majority of them. The one Spider-Man woman, the one that's white, she wears a white suit with a white hood, right? She's from a different multiverse. She's one of the main characters in the multiverse one that just came out, right? And then there's Miles Morales and stuff like that, right? So what ends up happening is, to me, I look at this like, man, I could run a team of Spider-Man, Venom, the woman from the multiverse, and have every Spider-Man character as a team, right? But how I looked at it was, I love Iron Man because Iron Man he's a human, but he's in like a robot suit and stuff like that. And I got the Incredible Hulk for the muscle. Turns out Venom is a super strength, so I got him for the muscle as well. I got Wolverine for the carnage, and we take this game by storm. The majority of the time, nobody ever puts me on the ground, like as far as taking me out, because like this team is incredible. But it makes you want to play more because you want to try the combinations. Now, to be honest, I looked it up. There's only a certain amount of levels that come with the game, and then there's an expansion pass. But the experience, to me, is a more fun experience than just saying, okay, I'm just Spider-Man, you know? And don't get me wrong, I played a little bit of Spider-Man Miles Morales. It was a good game, you know? I feel as though Venom's gonna be a good game. Am I gonna pay $70 for Venom? Nope. Not a chance. Because 9 times out of 10, probably by, I want to say, summer or something like that, the game will probably be half off. You know? What am I really missing? I didn't even finish Marvel Alliance the Black Order like that, so why should I go out and buy Spider-Man? Now, does it mean that it's a bad game? You know, what's your game Mount Rushmore? What's about 4 or 5 people, right? I would say for me, to be honest, it's Mario started me off, so it has to be Mario. For me, my favorite franchise from Xbox, because you can't include Starfield, is 4, right? So I would say Mario's up there. I had some great experiences with Master Chief, so I would say Master Chief is up there. I would say that Kratos is up there. And for a fourth, I'm tempted on saying Tom Nook from the Switch, because I know that I'm going to be playing Animal Crossing for into next year. You know, like I'm going to be playing Animal Crossing until the new one comes out. So I would probably have to say Mario, Master Chief, Kratos, and Tom Nook. You know, all of those games have given me countless memories with family and friends, and countless memories on my own. Like, I'm a big fan, just to pause the topic. My favorite, and it may not be, hold on one second. Let's get some water. To me, that's a good list. New New or old God of War games? Old God of War games. I haven't played the new ones, but I feel that Kratos was one of the most, going with Kratos just because he's on the Mount Rushmore. Kratos is one of the OGs of gaming. Okay, Kratos is one of the best games to ever be created, all the way up to these new ones. It's one of the best franchises to ever get created in all of gaming. I feel as though that for me, I would love. I'm in the middle of it now. I'm still in the first game, but I bought a PlayStation long before Spider-Man came out. I bought it to play God of War, like, to be honest, because I got tired of thinking, hearing people talk about blah, 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 this is God of War, this happened in God of War. And I'm like, man, I want to play it myself, So I bought a PlayStation 5 mainly for God of War. And once I finish the old ones, I'll make my way up to the new ones and I'll catch up, like not 9 times out of 10, if I'm not mistaken, the God of War that just came out, the one that was out before that is on a streaming service. And I'm pretty sure I ain't nowhere near to finishing the first God of War, but I'm loving it, So probably what'll happen is 9 times out of 10, and also I can't believe this game got to 6342, but 9 times out of 10, what I'll do is I'm definitely gonna play the new God of Wars. With Master Chief, to be honest, my favorite Halo was Halo 5. I feel as though it's gonna sound wild, right? I like how the list is about how fun and how long and entertaining and not about numbers. Yeah, I look at it like, don't get me wrong, the reason why I'm not attracted to play the God of Wars that are out is because, and I'm going to tell you why I can't stream them out if anybody's never played them. In God of War, there's a good amount of nudity. The women, there's a lot of breastises and stuff like that, and there's a lot of violence and stuff, so you can't really stream that. But if I had to be honest, it's so incredibly entertaining that I'm like, man, I bought a PlayStation just for this. And then I discovered other games as well. With Master Chief, my favorite Halo of all time, still to this day, is Halo 5 because it had everything in there. A lot of people, to me, and I'm saying this as a lover of all consoles, but speaking on the Xbox, putting my Xbox hat on, they need to, while this game is so high score, I know, and we're going to put another 15-minute game on, and I don't know who I'm going to do next. I'm going to look to see what I'm going to do next, but it's going to be some high-power teams because this got up there. The thing about it in Halo 5 was that in Halo 5, the Cortana, without ruining it for you if you didn't play it, Cortana was killed or captured or something like that, and you had to go on a search to get him. But I still remember being at work listening to a podcast. It was this podcast that Xbox came out with, right? Cut a long story short. Where what it was they was telling you the story of what happened to Master Chief before the game came out. And Agent Locke and his team was supposed to hunt down Master Chief, and it was supposed to be this big fight and all that. But what you were able to do was you were able to play the game as Master Chief as well as playing as Agent Locke. Now, to me, I feel as though the reason why Halo is not on top like that anymore is because they keep repeating the same story. By the time I got to Halo 5, I wanted to know what happened in Halo 6. They just went in a completely different direction. They took away Agent Locke. They don't mention Cortana anymore. It's not about the Guardians. The multiplayer, to me, is basically, you can't really say it's COD because they both came out around the same time, but they went back to like the COD style of things. I loved Halo 5. So, to me, that's why I still love Master Chief, but I would love to see more of his universe. Give me an RPG. Halo, this one that came out wasn't an RPG. I know it was advertised like that, but it really wasn't because I accidentally saw the end of it, and I'm like, okay, what happens after that? He goes back into cryogenic stasis until next game? Like, come on, man. Give me something where I can build my own Spartan, and I take on the world on my own. When are we going to get to that? What is the next hit? We're probably, and then if I remember correctly, they said something about they're not making the Halo they made is supposed to be for 5 or 10 years or something. So I'm like, my God, we're not going to get another Halo for like 5 years, and this is what you gave us? It was fun while it lasted, but games change. And then as far as with the Tom Nook being on a Mount Rushmore is because Animal Crossing changed the game. Like, a lot of games didn't have, world building and crafting and all this other sorts of stuff until they did it. So I think that, that's the reason why I chose the people I chose. The next one, I think I'm getting Batman on the Switch. Okay. Once again, another game that I didn't play fully. I played about 10 to 12 minutes, my hand of God, of Batman on Xbox when it came out. I think it was something where I think I had like rented that game or something. I think back when they had what's the name of them things? Redbox or something like that. Trent, thank you for them likes. Thank you for them likes. Um, I had rented a Redbox version of Batman, and I played it for a little bit. And the first thing I thought was, "Whoa, this game is next freaking flight." You see what I'm saying? I'm like, I dove off of the daggone building, air Assassin's Creed. I should say Batman, because Batman started it before Assassin's Creed. I Batman my way down to the street, and I just went hitting them with the elbows, back flipping, back smacking people. I'm like, Batman is getting it. This ain't Batman from back in the day. This dude is getting it, right? And then, Trent, thank you for them likes. Thank you for them likes. He was back smacking people and back flipping off of niggas and stuff like that. I'm like, man, then you got the Batmobile and you got all these people and stuff and Catwoman and everything. So I was like, dang, I saw this game, and what made me realize that I might want to get it is because of the fact that what do you call it? Because of the fact that it's coming out before Christmas. So I don't think I would get it in stores, but I think that I went to the Dolphins game last night. I was sad to see Phillips' tragic injury, big loss. Pausing the thing for a second. Yeah, I saw that injury. He said that he's trying to keep positive, but 9 times out of 10, if he tore his Achilles, that's probably the season. But the one thing I can say is the Dolphins probably aren't going to do bad by him. He'll be back next year, but that's where we are in the NFL now. It's no longer, to tell you the truth, it's not even so much about how many games you're going to win. It's about who can stay healthy, because it doesn't matter if you win. Like myself personally, just saying on the sports topic, if the Eagles can win the next couple games, like if they beat the Bills, which I hope they do, if they beat the Bills, the 49ers, and let's say the Cowboys, I want Jalen Hurts bench. I want everybody on the bench. Jalen Hurts, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, who else? A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. Like, seriously, put them all on the bench. Don't be out here trying to prove a point, and then Jalen Hurts tears his damn Achilles, now we're done. So I just feel like if we could wrap up these next couple games, call it a day. It's all that turf at MetLife. It ain't the first person that got hurt in MetLife. It's one of those things where I've seen more torn Achilles this year. To tell you the truth, I think I've seen more torn Achilles this year than I have in all my years of watching football. 1 second. Yes, that was the Dolphins should have had done up 21. I mean, I feel like myself, the Dolphins, in my opinion, are definitely going to the playoffs, and they look like a Super Bowl contender to me. So they lost Jalen Phillips. It's a tough loss, but I feel like at the same time they still in good position. The next, what I'm saying about Batman was, we are having a normal amount of injuries this year. Just all of them are very serious. Every injury you lose, like people are getting banged up left and right, just out of nowhere. Like a lot of people don't know going into this Bills game, Devontae Smith is dealing with a thigh thing. AJ had something. DeAndre Swift had something. Dallas Goedert is still recovering from our tight end. A lot of people don't know we went out there against the Cowboys without a tight end. It's all about, who can stay healthy and who has depth. If you, like, when we lost, I'm not going to lie, when we lost, and then here's the wild part about it. We lost Dallas Goedert to a broken forearm, and then the guy behind him just got hurt yesterday. So that means that the number 1 and number 2 tight ends for the Eagles are out. Now, what did they do? One thing I can say that I like, they ran plays without the tight end. You got to, and I feel like we're reaching that point in the year. Okay, we got a final here. Hold on. What was the final? 60 or something? Let me see. Okay, the final was 66-49. My God. Tua Tagovailoa threw 7 touchdowns with 624 yards. And Lamar Jackson scored 6 touchdowns with 473 yards. My God. Okay, let's get another game on so we got something in the background here. Let's go with custom game. I'm thinking we're not going to do rivals. How about the Lions versus another NFC team? Let's see. The Panthers ain't going to be able to compete with them. We already did the Ravens. How about we do Lions Seahawks and see what they come up on? 86 and 81. We did let's give the Seahawks the home field. And let's put the Lions. Let's put the Lions on, if I can find them. Okay. There's the Lions. Seahawks, Lions at Seahawks Stadium. It's going to be more of a night game. So let's do 15 minutes a quarter. And let's do somewhere around about 8 o'clock, about 8:15. Launch it. So yeah, on the sports thing, to kind of put that out there, it's all about health, It's all about, who can stay healthy and, who's the next man up. Quarterbacks, you got to start thinking about your quarterbacks. Who's the main people on the team that can't afford to get hurt, Because in certain respects, like I look at it like everybody's like, oh, this team might catch you. Here's the thing. If we got the number 1 seed locked up, even if a lot of people don't understand, we could go out here, beat the Bills, lose to the 49ers, beat every other team and still get number 1. To me, once you got number 1, people need to hit the bench. Because I'm going to tell you straight up, no, Marcus Mariota is not taking us to the Super Bowl. This ain't going to be a Nick Foles mission. Not saying he can't, but it'll be a very hard time to make that happen. So I feel as though once you got your playoff spot locked up, it's time to bench some of these players. The next topic. As a gamer and content creator, how would I suggest going about shopping on the holidays? Now let me read that again. As a gamer and content creator, how would I suggest going about game shopping on the holidays? Now, what that means is, if I would say anything, don't buy any game for full price. This is Black Friday weekend, okay? After this will be Cyber Monday. After this will be Christmas sales. Between now, the time that you're listening to this podcast, and the time that you go to the store, you shouldn't be paying full price on anything gaming related, okay? At all. Everything should be on sale. There is no reason why you should have to spend 100% of your money on any game, okay? The thing about it is, I'm hunting for deals, okay? I have about, in a situation where potentially the Miami Dolphins have the number 1 seed locked up. Yeah. In that situation, I would say bench Tua, and Tariq needs 100 yards for 2,000. Nope. Let me ask you this. Tariq Hill's chasing 2,000 yards, right? Let's say that the Dolphins have the number 1 seed locked up and they have 2 games left. And Tariq wants 2,000 yards. And while Tariq is sprinting down the field, he tears his Achilles. Does it matter? Do the Dolphins still go to the Super Bowl? See, these are the things you have to think about. You can't be thinking about some stat that 9 times out of 10, 5 to 10 years from now, somebody else is going to break. Like, remember when Megatron was making all them stats? A.J. Brown done broke that stuff. Niggas like A.J. Brown, Stephon Diggs, Devontae Adams, they broke all the records that was before them. Somebody will break Tariq's record. It's about being there, being in the playoffs, and having everybody you need to go to the next level. If you burn yourself out in the season, you're going to fall off in the regular season. You're going to fall off in the playoffs. Yeah, 2,000 yards is great to have, but if I'm the Dolphins coach, nah. The second we got it locked up, all of y'all on the bench. Tariq can get mad all he want, That's why, like with Nick, I hope he doesn't do something dumb and say, okay, we're gonna play Jalen Hurts. Well, we beat the Cowboys, we beat the Bills, we beat the 49ers, but we just need to show toughness, and we're gonna go out there and play the Cardinals with Jalen Hurts. That's stupid. There's no reason for that. Even if Marcus Mariota goes out there, which I don't think he will, But even if Marcus Mariota goes out there and loses 3 straight games and you still got number one, why would you care? What does it care that you lost 3 games at the end of the season? You still got number one. Number one is one of the most important things you can get. I think Tariq will be fine with that. Not gonna lie, more Fortnite time for him. That's right. Would you sit only starter players or every starter? I would sit every player that's a starter. Because number one, it gives you an opportunity to see what the team behind him looks like. You see what I'm saying? I know Marcus Mariota is a good scrambler. I know Marcus Mariota is a good thrower. We understand that. What about Quez Watkins? Is he really a number 3? Because if he's not, he needs to go. What about the linemen behind Jordan Mailata and Lane Johnson? How good are they? What about the running back behind DeAndre Swift? Is Kenneth Gainwell the backup that we need? You see what I'm saying? If you get into a situation where you don't examine these guys until somebody gets hurt, that's how you get into a situation where you can't recover. They're there for a reason. Put them in. Let them play. Because a lot of these guys are going to give you, like myself personally, I don't think, like, the reason why I watch football all the way through is because soon as we get to, like, where we at now, November, soon as we get to, like, the first week of December, everything matters even more. Everything matters even more. Like, your playoff spots, some people don't have one locked up. Some people are out of the playoffs but in the running. Look at the Broncos looking like they're coming back, steaming back with a vengeance. Look at the Packers looking like they got it together. Who knew Geno Smith was going to... Look at Geno Smith. Should he have played against the 49ers? Probably not. But at the same time, you got to understand that that's all they got. They now, in my eyes, Geno needs to rest. But they can't afford to rest Geno because they lost a bunch of games at the beginning of the season. So now they're competing with other teams. You got to remember, the Lions are good now. The Vikings are coming back. The Lions are good. The Cowboys are good. Other teams might knock them out of the playoffs, so they don't have an opportunity like that. But, like, the Lions, the Cowboys, the Dolphins, the Eagles, the Chiefs, the Ravens, teams like that, if y'all locked up that playoff spot, my advice would be to bench y'all players. Don't mess your season up, So what I was saying was, my advice, don't pay full price. You see what I'm saying? Whether it be for a handheld, whether it be for anything. If you got to understand right now, if you're, especially with the systems, okay? I know a lot of people, would ask me, what system should I buy? Start small if you don't want to fully commit, Before you get the X, get the S. Before you get the PS5, before you buy the digital PS5, buy the disc PS5. Before you buy an OLED Switch, buy the original Switch. But I'm going to be honest, Miami's backups can be starters on some teams. Yeah, so they're going to be pretty good. They'll probably still win games. I feel like, don't get me wrong, the people we have on the backside of things are better than what people know. Okay? Like, yeah, Kenneth Gainwell is a very good halfback. It all comes down to the holes. DeAndre Swift just happens to be a little bit faster. Okay? But when you look at certain things, you have to give these guys a chance, because if you don't, then they're not even going to be playoff ready. You never know. It don't have to be a season-ending injury, but, like, let's say Tua goes out there and Tyreek Hill is running a streak route and they bust this nigga ribcage up. It's a strong possibility that Tyreek Hill can tear his hamstring and Jalen Waddle could bust up his ribs just taking a hit. Now, am I trying to put that on that team? No. I'm saying that when you chase the whole season like that, worried about, what stat is going to be there at the end of the year, or what person is going to say how good you are, that's how you get to a point where you get hurt. Trying to prove. That's what they say. You're trying to prove something. You're out there trying to prove something, you get hurt. 1 second. All right. Next one. Let me see here. Okay. I'm getting a backbone for Christmas. I can't wait to try it. Okay. So one of the gifts that I got informed, luckily I got, my wife kind of informed me, one of the things she got me for Christmas was a backbone. Okay. Hell, what's up with you? Happy Thanksgiving weekend. So this is the Aries Alert Show, episode 21. We're here talking gaming topics. We got some games on in the background, so everybody has something to watch while we're talking the topics. Kale, anybody that comes in, would you change the name or did you have the same original name? So what happens is, what was the topic? Oh yeah, the backbone. So the thing about it was, my wife got me a Christmas present. I'm not able to open it because I have to wait till Christmas, but she got me a backbone for my phone. Now the thing about it was, she ended up getting me one that works on, yeah. You know, I'm glad you're a part of the 51 Dynasties and you came into the podcast. Kel, welcome in. And go Birds, as normal. Let's keep it going. You know, it's a Philly thing. So the thing about it was, you know, she bought me a backbone, right? And let me say this. There's two things. No, it's not a problem being a Chiefs fan. I think you got a good thing, you know. And let me tell you this. Even though we got y'all guys in that game, I still think you guys are a playoff team. I think you'll get it together. I think that Travis is probably a little hurt playing through injury. And I think that, you know, the wide receivers just got to do a better job at catching the ball. Do I believe that the Chiefs are going to miss the playoffs? Not a chance in hell. You know, if I was gambling, man, I would gamble that the Chiefs going to the playoffs. Let's be honest here. Right? So the thing about it was, my wife bought me a backbone for Christmas, right? So let me say this if you're unaware. There's a thing called Xbox Cloud Gaming, right? Now, Xbox Cloud Gaming is when you stream the game from, I'm gonna say we're gonna be out divisional out. Well, I mean, you're the team. You're a Chiefs fan, so you would know more about it than I would. I feel as though you guys are still built to go in the playoffs, and you can catch a lot. It comes down to the quarterback and the team itself. And I see Pacheco's a very good running back. I see that Travis Kelce's still doing his thing. I see that Patrick Mahomes is still doing his thing. I see that Chris Jones is still doing his thing. Outside, I see that, in my opinion, it comes down to the Dolphins, the Chiefs, and the Ravens. And you guys are going to have to beat it out just like it comes down to the Eagles, 49ers, and let's say the Cowboys. That everybody would say if somebody made you make a bet about who's going to the playoffs, it would come down to those three, you know. So the thing about it is, right, Xbox Cloud Gaming is when you stream a game from the cloud to your, in my case, iPad, right? So what I did was I went and transferred over to Xbox Cloud, not Cloud, Xbox streaming. Right now, what that is that's when my Xbox in the room mirrors what's on the screen. Rio, thank you for them likes. Thank you for them likes. Kale, thank you for them likes. Thank you for them likes. What that does is, if you don't know, it's a free service, right? All you have to do is, and I'm pretty sure you can do it. Don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure you can do it with the older Xboxes, the Xbox One or Xbox Series S. What you do is you can use your phone or you can use a tablet. You go to Xbox, you go to mirror device, remote play, it's called remote play, and then it just pops up on the screen. To me, this was incredible. I'm sitting in the living room, I'm playing Starfield. One day I was doing the trades on Madden, another day I was doing something else. So what I realized was, because my iPad does not have cell service, right? I was like, there's no point in me, you know, continuing. I do that on PS5. That's what I'm talking about, right? I noticed that there's no point in me continuing to do it on my iPad. I need to do it on my phone. So what happened was, she bought me the backbone, but she bought me the backbone because I plan on upgrading, because she already upgraded. So for the rest of me and my family that's on the lines, we plan on upgrading to the iPhone 15. Mainly, let me tell you like this, just to put that out there quickly, because, you know, in a tech standpoint, one of the main reasons why I want the new iPhone is because I want it for the satellite. I feel that just in case something was to happen in this world today or tomorrow, I have a phone where I can go outside, find a satellite, make a call. You see what I'm saying? That's more important than a camera to me. So, you know, she upgraded to the iPhone 15. I'm going to upgrade later. So she bought me the backbone that fits the new one. The one that fits into, because the new iPhones are what you call it, the new iPhones are USB-C ports, right? They don't work on the same ports that we have from the other ones, which is dumb. You know, 1 second. Grab some rehydration. 1 second. So, what happened was, I recognized that hey, my phone is super powerful. The wild part about it is our phones are probably the most powerful game console we got, including the Nintendo Switch and Rogue Allies and PS Steam Decks and all that. Your phone is the most powerful thing you got, whether it be Google, Android, whether it be a Samsung. I used to be on Android for a long period of time. Me and my wife bought, I think we went all the way up to the Note 7. I owned the Note 7. And at the time, the reason why I got rid of the Note 7 was because we were getting ready to fly out to go visit family in a little bit. And, we have family members that, work at jobs, and they informed us that the airline was no longer going to let you bring an iPhone set, a Samsung Note 7 on a plane because of the fact that these things were, breaking and catching fire and stuff like that. So I was like, man, forget this. I'm going to iPhone. Now, that doesn't mean I have a problem with Android. It's just, to me, because I did have the first iPhone. I had the iPhone, which it wasn't called iPhone 1. It was called iPhone. And then I had the iPhone 2, and I didn't have any other one leading up to maybe, let's say, about 6 or 7 years ago. And then once I went to iPhone, I ended up with the iPad and the MacBook, and all of it just works together, right? But I say that to say that the streaming services for Xbox and PlayStation are showing you where they are thinking about going, okay? The only thing that holds you back from the backbone for either PlayStation or Xbox to take you to the next level is your signal. If you got a good game signal, how I look at it is, if my cell phone can power, if my cell phone can power my Nintendo Switch, my cell phone 9 times out of 10 can power my Xbox backbone or my PlayStation backbone. You see what I'm saying? So I love the fact that my wife got it for me. Just as one of the main games I'm looking forward to put it out there on mobile. Number one, I'm looking forward to streaming my Xbox. But one of the main Apple kind of like mobile games I'm really looking forward to getting back into is PUBG, as well as there's a Tom Clancy game that's coming out that really got me interested. Now, the one that they're releasing on Xbox and PlayStation, to be real, I don't really like what I'm hearing. They're like, oh, it's in the middle of the country, and you gotta defend your base against other people and all this other sorts of stuff. And then I look at the mobile version, and it's still in New York, and they got a new system where, if you've ever played it, they had this thing called the Dark Zone, right? So basically, without ruining the story for you, there was a virus that came out and shut down the whole world. So cut a long story short, you're an agent of like the government trying to restore order. And, it's an RPG kind of shooter, first person, third person shooter kind of thing. And what happens is you go block to block doing your own thing. Now, they have an area in there called the Dark Zone where basically you can go in there and go up against other people to compete for loot, right? Now, the reason why I didn't go into the Dark Zone in any of the other games on console was because of the fact when you go into the Dark Zone, it'll be teams of people, 4 or 5 guys just rolling around together looking for somebody. Right now, they have a thing called one-on-one Dark Zone. So what that means is when you load into the mobile version of Tom Clancy and you go into the Dark Zone, you could choose solo play. So that means only people that are not on teams are in here. Now, yeah, you'll probably have, some people where they try to get on at the same time and make things happen. But typically when you're running around, it should be you versus the next man unless somebody else rolls in. So I'm thinking with the backbone, yeah, you got the Switch. But, we got the Switch. But now with the backbone, because I got the Xbox One, right? So now I'm in a position where I have a portable Xbox on my phone. So I wanted to bring that up to explain also where the industry's going. They're not bringing these devices out just to bring them out. They're bringing them out. The iPhone is so powerful. My thing is, the iPhone's so powerful, and these cell phones nowadays are way more powerful than when they first came out. They're basically, the chipsets and stuff they put in there. Like, I remember when I bought my MacBook, and everybody was, well, you can't stream from a MacBook, and it won't work. Thank the Lord, my MacBook has been kicking it and cranking it out since I got it. Now, I got the M1. I didn't get the one with the Intel chips, but at the same time, I'm still on M1. I know they done went to like M3, M4. Hey, I'm good. One thing about Apple products that I noticed is, over all my years that I've been buying them, you could buy Apple product and not have to replace that joint for 5 to 10 years, man, because you get the same operating systems. There's no like drivers and stuff like that, where maybe I'll, next podcast I'll do a short about some of the things I love about Apple. But to call it fair, it's not to take a jab at Android or take a jab at anybody. It's just to say that these games are getting to a point where a lot of people aren't noticing the mobile games are getting, in a way, better. Like, because I'm going to be honest, I like Angry Bird. Angry Birds is pretty good. And I'm not going to lie, I'm a Candy Crush player as well. Just to shout you out on mobile, if you want to look it up, there's a game called Clash of the Kings. Right? Not Clash of Clans, Clash of the Kings, Clash of Kings. And what it is a game where you get your own castle, and it's inside a multi-universe where millions of people are playing, and you join an alliance and you storm on other people's castles and stuff like that. I've been playing that game since I had my Android back in Philly 10 years ago. Still playing it, right? So when you give me controllers now where I can actually play the game as like a console game and I can stream Xbox games, hold on one second, let me get this hoodie off. 1 second. Because I got a ring light and I got my, 1 second here. I got a ring light and I got my ring light on and my TV and stuff. Oh, stop the game, my fault. I got my ring light on and my TV on, and sometimes it causes like, a little bit of heat to actually build up, and that's why I come out the hoodies. So yeah, what I was saying was basically, these console games are starting to get to a point where, hold on, let me open this window, son. Give me 1 second, y'all. Coming down. Trent, thank you for that share. Thank you for that share. So yeah, it's called Clash of Kings, and basically what you do is, it's like a tribal style game where what happens is you join a clan and you kind of take over the world, either with or like I'm a part of a international group, right? Tyler, what's up with you? Happy Thanksgiving weekend. I'm a part of an international group where there's like different people that speak different languages. Like some people will come in speaking Spanish, Chinese, Indian, and when they go on major boards. Tyler, welcome to the 51 Dynasties community. Welcome to one of the best online communities available today, where you are appreciated. Thank you for your support and welcome into the group. I hope you're enjoying the podcast. Just to make you aware, Tyler, because around here, my normal stream schedule is Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I normally stream Madden 23. Wait, we're on 24, right? Well, the latest Madden. I own a Xbox Series X, a PlayStation 5, and a Nintendo Switch. I also play mobile as well. So my normal game streams is gonna be Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I will have a new stream on Monday ready to go. Um, so yeah, the thing about it is, right, the topic we were on, which one was we on? The backbone, right? So what this does is, this is another reason, and like I said, love all games, so I don't have anything against them. But this is another reason why, don't get me wrong, if you have like a Windows computer, right? If you have a Windows computer, like a really good Windows computer, and you buy a Rogue Ally, that's what I think it's built for. Because if anything goes wrong with your Rogue Ally, you can plug it into a Windows computer and, diagnose the problem. Whereas I own a MacBook. Anybody around my age knows, ever since Apple and Mac started, these guys don't communicate well. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I plug a Windows, it's like plugging an Android into a MacBook, or trying to plug an iPhone into a Windows computer. It's sometimes they don't really communicate like that well with each other. You see what I'm saying? So if you have a Windows device, like where's my thing? I just noticed that. Oh, okay, here it is. Oh, crap. Hold on one second. If you have a Windows computer that you can plug your Rogue Ally into, then I would recommend, going out and getting one. If you have a Steam account, I would recommend, if you got a Windows computer with a Steam account, go and do your thing. But to me, if you don't have those two things, I would say you need to go to Switch and a backbone route. Because that way, especially with the way Xbox is, that's another reason that made me get the backbone for Xbox right now. Because I may go back later on and get the PlayStation Xbox. I may go back and get the PlayStation backbone. And now, think about it. I now have a Nintendo Switch OLED in my bag, right? The controller, when you do you play Fortnite at all? I played Fortnite for a little bit. I didn't really like the whole building thing, but my brother just informed me that he's been playing this mode called non-builder, where you don't have to build anything. So I may try out Fortnite in a little bit to kind of try that out to see, what the non-builders are. I really like that you can play with all the characters, so I will be trying that out a little bit later to see, because I don't want to build anything. I will be honest. Don't get me wrong. Zero build. I was like, that's what he told me it was called, zero build, where instead of like when you go to, shoot somebody, they build a whole house and all this other stuff. It's like they don't have that anymore. It's just straight up gun on gun. And I'm like, dang, you could be Goku, you could be Vegeta with a gun? Oh man, I might gotta try this out. So yeah, I'll probably go try it out on my Switch first, to see if I like it. And then see if I can hold my own, because everybody said kids gonna be annihilating me. But who knows? I may bring that to the stream in a little bit. That might be nice for a stream. So what I'm saying was basically, now if because I'm not gonna get the PlayStation I play is Tariq Hill. Oh, okay. The thing about it is, I would love to play as that YouTuber that does this, the one that's like, I would love to play as him, but he's in a different game and stuff. So the thing about it is, I got a backbone for Christmas, right? I may look to buy myself the backbone for my PlayStation, right? And now when you look at it, when I leave the house, I have all the Nintendo's games. Trent Herbie, I play as Tua, and the thing about it is, now when I leave the house, I have my Nintendo Switch, so I have all my Nintendo games. I have a backbone for Xbox, so I can play Xbox on my phone. And then if I get the PlayStation backbone, I now have Nintendo, PlayStation, and Xbox all in my bag for under what my Switch was about. No exaggeration, was about $250 after I traded everything in, and then the backbone was about $69 because I got it on sale my wife got it for me on a sale during the Black Friday craziness. And then I also, if I get the PlayStation 1, let's say I don't get it on sale and I get it for $100, so that's $160 plus say $300, so you're only looking at about $460. And you have PlayStation, Nintendo, and Xbox on the go. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for when I get up from my system, I got everything with me. Because like I told you, I carry a little sling bag. Everybody do your thing. I done got past the whole, let's just say how people feel about people wearing sling bags and book bags. I done got to a point, I look at it like, man, I used to carry a book bag around when I went to work. Like, I was the dude that came to work with a book bag. You see what I'm saying? So I had no problem carrying a Coach sling bag, that looks nice, where I can keep all my stuff in it. Yo, go on, God bless. I'll make sure to stop passing the next stream another day. Thank you, Tyler. Thank you for joining the 51 Dynasties. Thank you for being a part of the community. You have a blessed, safe rest of your holiday, and I'll see you on the next stream, which will be Monday. So have a great, blessed rest of your day, and happy Thanksgiving and happy Black Friday. Good shopping. Happy hunting. Have a blessed rest of your day, man. So that might be better than having a PlayStation 5 and Xbox. Here's the thing about it, right? We are moving to a point where once the cell phone signals get good, like where you can, be in a Call of Duty match and nothing drops or anything like that, they're going to tell you, some people, I'm telling you, you're going to hear some people like, I ain't buying a console. I'm playing on my phone. I'm playing on my iPad. That's why when you look close at PlayStation and Xbox and Nintendo, that's why I like the direction they're going in. It's not $700 to $800 to have their games. Like when you really, like, don't get me wrong. The only reason, I'm going to tell you straight up, I have Nintendo Switch Online. I have, 1 second. Let me just tweet. Oh, never mind. I have Nintendo Switch Online, right? I have PlayStation, I think it's called PlayStation Plus, right? I have that. And I also have Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. Now, the reason why I have these 3 running services is because I don't want to be forced. Like, I know what a console and a system looks like with no memberships. You only have the games you bought. And don't get me wrong, but I'm not going to be spending, even though I have all 3 and I'll be getting into it later, I'm not going to be spending $60 every 2 weeks. When you add up 3 consoles, that's over $120 in games a month. I'm not doing that, right? But the services, all day. Hell, I'm about to resubscribe. I'm probably about to resubscribe to Crunchyroll after this. I have a Switch OLED, PS5, PS4, and an online subscription. I feel like it's too expensive. Don't get me wrong, $20 and something like that in a month, it ain't lightweight. But what I like to do is myself, I like to look to see what you get. I feel like with the Nintendo Switch Online, the reason why I'm getting that is because they're gonna give me Sega and Nintendo and Super Nintendo and all of that. Xbox is giving me all their first party games. PlayStation got God of War games and all sorts of stuff. So, I feel like it's giving me enough to justify the subscription. And to be honest, nowadays, that's what the world is. 1 second. Like, prime example, right? Take Starfield, for instance. I'm kind of close to finishing it, but with a backbone, when I start it up again, because what I understand from this New Game Plus is supposed to mean that, taken away from the name, New Game Plus probably means, hey, you start the game over, you have all your superpowers, you have all your guns, and you just wreak havoc, I would love to go back and kind of beat down on people that beat down on me, because when you play it the first time without ruining it for you, because some people may get it over the holiday and stuff, it's an amazing game, but it's not something where you steamroll the competition. There are some people in that game, not including bosses. There are some levels where there's like, you enter into a space station and there's like 30 enemies in there, and they're not the type of enemies that's just gonna stand here like this while you shoot them. They ducking behind stuff. They hitting you with sniper rifles. They shooting you with shotguns. Some people running at you with knives. I'm like, I'm in there, fighting for my life. Now, if you could tell me I beat the game and they could travel back in time and put me right at the point when I started, and I can choose what I want to do, and you telling me I got an upgraded starship, I got upgraded guns, I got upgraded abilities, I'm going back to wreak havoc. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, games are hard. Some games, don't get me wrong, just to mention them, I think, what was that game that came out? It was kind of like Dark Souls. What was the name of that game? I forget the name of the game that just recently came out. Something like Dark Souls. It was very hard. It was one of those games where if the boss hits you twice, you die, right? I didn't even attempt to play that game. I watched it on YouTube. You know why? Because I ain't about that. I want to feel Demon something like that, and Demon Souls or something. I don't know what it was. But at the same time, I looked at that game and was like, I ain't playing this game. Not because it's not a good game, But number one, to tell you the wild part about it, I don't really like fighting unless it's like a like with Immortal Phoenix Rising, Demon Souls, I think. Right? Yeah, right. Unless it's like a game where like with take Starfield for instance. I've never fought an enemy that was like this big and I was this big. Everybody I fight is like if I'm this big, they about maybe that everybody's human people, right? I don't really like the atmosphere of fighting enemies that are like super big and you're just standing there swinging at their legs. You know. Now, to me, would I spend $69 on a backbone to be able to play Starfield in the street? Yep. Because also Xbox has a lot of other games. He said scary too. Yeah, you know the thing of it is they have other games. Same thing with PlayStation. Why myself personally, I wouldn't buy the PlayStation Portable. I would buy the backbone for my phone because I pay the service, so PlayStation's gonna let me play on the go. I'm trying to maximize my game. I'm over here at SR51 Media. I always try to maximize the gaming and talk about the best options to get to it. I'm not just going to tell you, hey, just run out there and spend hundreds of dollars, man. This economy out here is crazy. I'm not getting into it. We're not doing that. But we all know it done got majorly expensive out here. So, you know, you can't just be, you know, like just buy this, buy that, buy this, buy that. We got stuff we got to do. You should stream the Spider-Man game if that's of interest to you. Yeah, I'm going to, when I get Spider-Man, I'm going to stream it. I'm not going to play it off camera. Like, I'm going to stream Spider-Man. The next one, how do I manage? Wait, hold on. Here it is. Why I think the better experience in gaming is starting to be portable and streaming side. Okay, now this is a little bit close to one of our other topics. The reason why I feel like gaming, the experience is starting to lean a little bit to streaming and portable, is because they see that, like, because from what I know, I could be wrong here. I might gotta look it up to update myself. But the mobile market makes more than all three platforms combined. And let that sink in for a minute. People spend more money on Candy Crush and Apple Angry Birds than they do on Halo and Spider-Man 2 and Mario. You know, so these console people are starting to notice, hey, we got to make games that aren't just, you know, mobile knockoffs. We got to make, when somebody, like one thing I could say is myself personally, I played Call of Duty. It was so good. We had Call of Duty raid parties going on where it was me, my wife, my sister-in-law, her kids, my cousin-in-law, all of us was just going match after match after match with other people and stuff like that. And you were able to do that because all you had to do was reach over and grab your cell phone. You didn't have to go out and buy a $500 console or a $600. Now, I had the consoles, but they didn't. But it didn't matter, you know? It didn't, even with the playability, it wasn't like it was a knockoff. It was actually like, to be honest, it felt just like Call of Duty. Now, one thing I could say is the experience was better on my iPad because it was bigger, but the iPad is hard to control while you're steering, so it brought me back to the phone. My wife brought up the backbone thing because she had one. She tried it out for a little bit. She didn't like it. She got rid of it. And she brought it up to me like, well, maybe this is a good option for you for your Xbox. And I never really thought of it, and I'm glad I have it. So after Christmas, once I busted open, because my goal is to try to get my updated, one second. No, let's wait that a minute. I'm going to have to pause and not pause. Let me close this out. Something just opened. I got to do something in about 2 minutes. Not that I'm going to be gone from the camera for a long period of time. So the thing about it is when you add it up, right? Let's do it. I got a calculator on me. Make sure I'm giving you the right numbers. Right? So let's say I got my backbone for about $69. So you might as well call that 70, right? Spent about somewhere around, let's say, $250 for the Switch, right? And then the other backbone, if I don't get it on sale, if I get it before a sale comes out, it's gonna be about $100. So let's say you put $100 on it. That's only $420. That's still less than the price of a bundled Switch. That's still less than the Xbox Series X, and that's still less than the PlayStation 5. And when I get up from streaming, I can go, it ain't about just being in the house. I can leave the house. That backbone will fit probably inside of my bag, and the PlayStation backbone will fit in my bag, and the Nintendo Switch will fit in my bag. So what that means is wherever I get family barbecues, airlines, wherever, because some planes, I don't know if you know, I don't know if everybody travels like that, but some planes have, they have cell service now on the plane. You know, I watched a couple YouTube videos and podcasts and stuff like that on some airlines. And some airlines, you know, hold on 1 second. That's the thing I had to do. Give me 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Thank you for understanding. So yeah, the thing about it is some airlines they have cell service now. So what that means is, you know, when you're flying, hey man, I'm gonna stick around on the stream and listen with my AirPods so I can still listen. Thanks, Trent. That's greatly appreciated. Just to let you know, the sound effects that we used to have, I just paused the topics for a minute so I can explain this. Now, when you drop a like or you drop a GIF, it will still display on the screen. But I turned off the sound effects because when I was listening back on playback, I noticed that a lot of people, it was kind of like drowning me out. Like when I call a play, you can't hear me. When I welcome you into the community, you can't hear me. And then, you know, it was like sometimes it's 5,000 and 6,000 likes and stuff. So that means the alert plays 5,000 or 6,000 times. People were saying it was kind of loud. So I kept the visuals, but I turned off the audio so that way it's more comfortable for all of us. And just in case for people, because I understand as the night goes on, some people may watch the stream in earphones or something like that, and I don't want them to, you know, have this loud sound playing in their ear. So that's the reason why it's not on. You don't have to worry about anything loud activating. And I'm not going to be playing any sound effects tonight until the next stream. But that, you know, the dun 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 and all that, that's been taken out. You know, now it still plays your message and thanks you and stuff, but the sound effects, I was like, nah, we're just gonna do away with that. So yeah, the thing, what I was saying was, yeah, you know, you get on a plane and you got cell service, you got Xbox, you got PlayStation. You know, if you're at your friend's house, who 9 times out of 10, all right, so I won't be connecting, but I'll be here. I won't. All right, so I won't be communicating, but I'll be here. All right, thank you, Trent. Thank you for chilling. You're greatly appreciated. Thank you for being a value member of the 51 Dynasties community. Um, so yeah, the thing of it is, you know, you're on an airplane, or you know, you're at your friend's house or a family member's house who has everybody has internet, right? And it doesn't require a super big internet to make it work. But what happens is, like with the backbone, all you do is you take your phone and you just stretch it out across the back, put it on there, and you know, download the app and everything, and it works, right? So I'm glad that I got a backbone, and I think it's really going to change my gaming experience because basically I'm going to be able to game on the go, not just with Nintendo. You know, that's another reason why I'm like what I'm. The reason why I'm not buying, because I nothing against a Rogue Ally or a Steam Deck, but at the same time, the reason why I don't want to pay the money there is because, to be honest, I feel that a lot of these handhelds came out because they know that, okay, they would know, you know, like Rogue Ally and Steam and Xbox and PlayStation, they already know if another Switch is coming out. They just are not allowed to tell the public, right? But I think that a lot of these handhelds are coming out because they know when Nintendo comes out, a lot of people are going to steer over there, And now, because the Backbone just came out like what? I want to say maybe like a year or two ago, something like that. And now, when every content creator was talking about it, that was because, it's a great thing, So now you're at a position where you could buy a Backbone to take care of PlayStation. You could buy a Backbone to take care of Xbox. You could buy a Switch to take care of Nintendo, and now you got all three consoles on the go, even if you don't own the console. You see what I'm saying? You could get a Backbone, don't even own the Xbox, just buy the games on the app itself or a PlayStation and go the same route. So, it's to me, it's a great piece of technology. I had to bring it up. Um, how do I manage all three platforms? Why do I have all three? Okay, so how I manage all three platforms is, like I said previously, I like the streaming. I like the what do you call it? The what's the name of that thing there? The subscription services. With Xbox, one thing I can say is the reason why I'm willing to play their games right out the bat is because I don't pay for them. A lot of people talk down about Game Pass, but when you really look at it, it's one of the best values in gaming. Now, PlayStation is starting to get around to it too. They don't put their games directly into the streaming service itself, but what they do is they do give you access to pounds and pounds of other games. Now, I have to do some research to see how the Backbone works on PlayStation, but if I'm guessing correctly, it probably works the same on like how Xbox works, where you just plug it into the phone and pick from the PlayStation games you own. I would love to play God of War on the streets because I basically can't play it on streams, right? And also the other thing of it is too is one of the things, and I don't know if is it a topic. Let me see. No, that's the next topic, right? One of the things about it is with the mobile side of things, it makes you want to play the game more, because now your gaming session isn't just when you're at home or when you're in front of the TV. Your gaming session is whenever you want it to be. Take it with you to work, take it with you to friend's house, take it all around. To me, at the same time, I manage all three by saying, okay, there's a budget that I'm going to work with. I'm not going to say, like, prime example, I just got, because Madden came out in August. So I just got Madden. I just got NBA 2K24. I just got Street Outlaws 2 on my Nintendo Switch. I just got Street Outlaws 2. Oh, Random, we were talking about that. I'm not a Stream Deck person. Good piece of technology, just not a Stream Deck person myself, right? And the thing about it is we all are in a position now where it's like all the platforms are starting to offer us mobile and portable things. I have family members that are PC gamers. They don't own consoles. They play on PC. They buy from Steam. They don't own a Steam Deck, but like I tell them, hey, that would be a great thing for you. You play on Steam. People that have Windows computers and are used to uploading drives and all that sorts of stuff, Rogue Ally might be great for you. For me, I think the perfect combo because I own an Xbox, I own a PlayStation, I own a Nintendo, and I play mobile, and I got all the streaming services. The best thing to do is get backbones for both of those combos and put a Nintendo Switch with it. Hey, you off and running. You see what I'm saying? It's a wrap. It's really a wrap. How cloud gaming is a big thing these days, as well as something called a Backbone would be cool too. Yeah, the thing about it is we all have more options now. Epic Gamer, thank you for them likes. Thank you for them likes. We all have options now. It's more like because I like having all three of the consoles and playing mobile. It puts me into a mindset where I'm like, when I see a game come on, like, all right, at the Game Awards where they're gonna have world premiere, right? I don't have to watch it thinking to myself, okay, what console is it on? Well, which one did it come on? Is it going to be on this? Is it going to be on that? As long as they're in the PC game, I'm off and running. You see what I'm saying? I'm sitting up here like, bring it on. Like, where's my money going next year? But at the same time, I realize that you still have to keep some sort of a budget. Like prime example. Yes, I like Cyberpunk, the game, but in a strong opinion, that was a fail. Okay? When that game came out, it was not complete, it was not done, and it was not ready. But they still charged 50-something bucks for that game. So, had that game came to, say, Game Pass, right, what I'm learning, some games, whether it be Game Pass, PS Plus, Nintendo Online, GameFly, whatever you want to call it, don't take the risk on giving them the money, because this game may not be complete. Either that's the reason why I'm paying more attention to what I buy, because when you have all of them, you can't just be saying like even with Spider-Man, nothing against it, but I don't really got the time to be playing it now. I'm still deep into Starfield, wrapping that up. I just got Hogwarts on the Switch. I'm waiting for Tom Clancy to drop on the iPhone. And at the same time, to tell you the truth, with PlayStation, I'm more, because I didn't own a PlayStation my whole life, I'm more interested in the games I didn't play, Yep, and I don't like this whole early access label that they're going big on now. Yeah, the thing of it is, myself personally, like, just call it a demo. Like, what happened to the time? One second. What happened to the era of just basically say it's a demo? See, the thing about it was, and I'll call it fair, I'm not going to cover for him. When I got Cyberpunk, it was fun, It was a fun game and stuff. But one of the first things I realized that it wasn't done was when I went to the mirror and I couldn't see my character. And I'm like, stuff is skipping and stuff like that. And I'm not going to lie, it made me feel like I spent my money too early. It made me feel like, hey, I just put 50 out on this game. I trusted these guys because they made The Witcher. Nobody saw that coming. They made The Witcher the complete edition. Nobody saw that coming. But now, for them to say, okay, we got a new DLC and all this stuff, and it costs $40-something. I'm like, this should be free. I know it ain't free to make video games nowadays, but y'all kind of owe us this one. Like, you should at least put us in a situation where the DLC comes out free versus us having to pay for it. But I'm not going to say I won't go back and play it a little bit later, but it's not on my calendar right now. Things I'm involved with is like Hogwarts Legacy, Street Outlaws 2, God of War, the original God of War, the one from back in the day. Detroit Become Human. I'm trying to jump into Infamous, the one on PlayStation. There's a lot of stuff I'm looking at, right? So when another game comes into my sight, a lot of times I'll say, hey, I'll come back to this game when I get to it. So that's why with the services, that's why I keep them active, because I feel as though when you have all three, it lessens the chance of you blowing your money, because Xbox gives you all their games day one, PlayStation kind of gives you all their games maybe 6 months to a year later, and Nintendo brings you all the games maybe at the same time as the console. So it's not smart to go out and say, I'm going to spend $60 on each console, because then you're averaging maybe $120, $150, if not more, somewhere closer to almost $300 on games a month. Now, I ain't going in nobody's pockets, but for me, a lot of these games ain't complete, so I ain't going to be rolling the dice of giving them that much bread, The next one, this is 14. We only have, 13. We only have 15 topics, so 3 more, right? I want to soon get a mobile streaming setup. I want to soon get to mobile streaming as well. I just have to get the setup done. Okay. If I'm going to get a backbone, and I already have one for Christmas for Xbox, but if I'm going to get a backbone for PlayStation, which I will later, and I have a Nintendo Switch, the Nintendo Switch, I know you can't stream that. They don't have any way to do that. But if I'm playing on my backbone, what I figured was, like anything else, PUBG or whatever, you can just stream your screen. But I have to get a setup for that, because I don't want like personal information and stuff like that popping on the screen. So maybe I'll look to get record it and then edit it up and put it on the screen, put it on a YouTube or something like that. But I do want to get to a point where we can maybe what we can get into is playing games together on mobile. Because see, with the console part, the reason why I don't get into a lot of playing with everybody on the console part is because of the fact that I play Madden like an RPG. I started a franchise. I play it. We're in the year 2029 now. I'm used to doing my own thing. I control everything. But on a mobile side of things, like say Call of Duty, or say somebody wanted to run in Call of Duty together, or maybe they wanted to play Fortnite together or something like that. That wouldn't be a problem because of the fact that, I wouldn't be using my mic or nothing, but that doesn't mean we can't link up on a mobile tip. That's going to be something that I want to bring into the streams, into the platform a little bit later. I just have to set it up. Okay. 14. I have an idea for brand. I have ideas for the brand. Some of them require learning a few things. Thank you for understanding and your support. I greatly appreciate it. So what that means is I have a few things that I'm thinking about to expand the brand. Okay. I'm not ready to comment on them yet. Some of the things require me to actually learn some stuff. Okay. I feel that I was brought up, from my parents and the elders around me. A closed mind is a dead mind. Okay, you should always be learning. You should always be learning something new, and you shouldn't be reluctant to learn something new. But I'm in a phase right now where I'm trying to figure out what's best to accompany my brand. You see what I'm saying? Like, what am I going to do outside of gaming that still connects with gaming? You see what I'm saying? Yes, we've talked about different things and different aspects of that. We ain't getting into none of that today. But best believe I am solely hard at work figuring out what should be the thing that I do to accompany these streams, and also things that you possibly can purchase as products as well. That's another thing that I've never put myself into a position as a content creator all these years. I've never brought out a product. Whether shirts, games, comics, whatever all these people do, I never got into any of that. I just focused mainly on playing the game. So whatever I do has to not mess with that. You see what I'm saying? It can't be, hey, well, I hear a lot of streamers, well, I'm doing this now, so that's why I'm not doing game streams. I love playing video games, okay? So whatever I do has to be something revolving around video games. It can't be, you're going to be a sports writer, and yeah, I love the Eagles to death, but when was the last time you see me write something about the Eagles? Right? I may talk about it, and we may talk in streams, but I'm not going to sit up here and write a 500-page essay on the Eagles every day, So it's certain things that I'm looking into, and there's certain things that I'm going to be bringing up once I know more about them and I have more understanding for what it will require. And if I want to go down that path, then I will, bring it up. The other one, to inform everybody, you can find my content on TikTok, YouTube, and the brand website. If anything changes, I will update you. Okay, what that means is, for me, okay, I've been on YouTube. I was on YouTube. I still am on YouTube. I'm mainly on TikTok for Madden and games like that. But there's some shooters that I want to play. I might want to play the new Division that's coming out. I definitely want to play the new State of Decay when that comes out. I would love to be able to stream. The reason, the only thing that keeps me from streaming some games is the fact that you see the angle we're at. That's the angle that I use for TikTok, okay? So if I was live on, say, YouTube, I would have to, in my eyes, whether, because I am also affiliate on Kick. So I have to take the time to see where the best stuff is held, because I love Kick to death. Great platform. Glad I got over there. Shout out to everybody over there, okay? We have the affiliate-ness set up. So if you go over there and, find a channel and stuff like that, and you drop likes and stuff and subscribe and stuff, it works the same way as TikTok. But YouTube offers, in a way, something that I've had going for a long period of time, the ability for you to go back and watch streams. Like right now, if I was to tell you, hey, I'm an OG streamer, I've been streaming since blah, 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 and there's no footage, you'd be like, man, this dude could be saying anything. How many streamers do you know say I was doing this, but have no footage, no, streams, no podcasts, bunch of excuses. Like, my hand of God, I can look it up right now, and let me see. I can look this up right now and tell you. I can't remember the date. I know it was in, like, April or something like that. Let me tell you right now. It was called Salt Aries Media, and I ended up getting, I put in about 94 videos, and let me scroll all the way to the bottom to see if they show me. The first video was Quantum Break 7 years ago. Okay? So the thing about it is, being on YouTube that long and putting in so much effort and stuff like that, I understand it, Now, I do understand that YouTube is in a situation now where they're kind of suffering from the same thing that Twitch is suffering from, where the discoverability is horrible, okay? One thing I would say, if somebody asks me, you should be on TikTok, because mainly It's not a, like, don't get me wrong, be on TikTok and be on TikTok. I would never put you guys in a situation where I said, hey, I'm on TikTok right now, but, basically, I'm a Twitcher or I'm a kicker or something like that. If I'm on one, I'm on one. Now, later, I may go to that one to play a different game, because what you have to understand is certain things can get you strikes, There's a lot of let's say, hot button issues right now that are going on in gaming and political and in the world and stuff. And I don't want to be somewhere where if I put something out that basically, it can't really flourish. Like, one of the reasons that made me become an affiliate on Kick was because a lot of things that people talk bad about, I actually like. Now, like I said, I'm not going to go into these things, but some of the things I like about Kick is, number one, that they're attached to crypto. Okay, I'm very much into that. Okay, I understand it. I'm invested in it, so I like the fact that it's associated with it. People say a lot about gambling. To be honest, my family members and a lot of my family members, they aren't gamblers, but we all might go to the casino every now and again. We might buy a lottery ticket here and there. So I don't really care that people can gamble. I'm a married man, so no, I'm not going to be in the hot tub streams and all of that, but I understand why they're there. Okay? I'm not going to hold anybody. I'm not going to say that it's wrong for a woman sitting in a hot tub with her friends, because I've seen some of them when you scroll past the stuff. I'm not going to say it's wrong for a woman to sit in a hot tub with her friends and talk about clothes or whatever, and that's her stream. If you made a room for that, hey, it is what it is. But I feel that Kick is kind of doing some things, and I understand everybody said all that about the hourly rate and all that sorts of stuff. 9 times out of 10, if I had to guess, the hourly rate is, if they do it, the hourly rate is going to be something that's attached to, the hourly rate is going to be something that's attached to percentages, like, you're going to have to get probably a good couple thousand people in there to actually watch the stream. You're going to have to bust a bunch of products and stuff like that. But the thing about it is, with Twitch, and this isn't the first time somebody's asked me about the whole Twitch thing. I have no problem with Twitch. But the difference between Twitch and Kick is Twitch has a lot of rules for certain things that, Kick doesn't. Kick's kind of like the Wild Wild West right now. Everybody's going, well, how can they maintain this? I'm just going, if you don't know, crypto got a lot of money, so, and it's gambling. You got to understand, if casinos is running 24/7, like they did an interview with the dude said they already making profit. They had 1 million something people sign up from the beginning. I didn't go on there and play games. I asked certain people that were 51 Dynasties members at the time. When they came in, I told them, hey, I'm on Kick 2, so be sure to go on over there and join up and subscribe up. And thank you again to everybody from the 51 Dynasties that went over to Kick and joined up, because I was able to become an affiliate. So to me, right now it's mainly Kick and TikTok, because of the fact that they're similar to the same things. I made a scary safety and his 3 forced fumbles. Oh, that's good. And he has 3 forced fumbles. That is good. It means you created a very good player. So yeah, the thing of it is, myself personally, I feel like I'm blessed that I was able to become a Kick affiliate. I think it's a great place. There's a lot of games that are a little bit more adultish, in the shooter and killer realm and stuff like that, that you have to understand that gamers want to see. But on TikTok, you don't want to, it's like with certain platforms, some things you can do and some things you can't. Now, I know a lot of people, like prime example, a lot of people come into the streams, hey, you want to gamble? I'm not with that. Mainly because I don't know if anybody know, a lot of people know, but that violates the service term agreements of the platform itself, right? Like on Twitch and YouTube and TikTok, you're really, and Facebook, if they're still doing it or whatever, you're not really supposed to take money from the audience and then play a game and then gamble with them. Because what you got to understand is, number one, that's breaking the terms of service. And number two, you can get into a situation where somebody's, if somebody's bank account get met, I don't want to have any of y'all information. I don't want anybody feeling like, hey, SR51 Media ripped me off, or somehow or another. Sharnita, thank you for the likes. Thank you for the likes. I don't want anybody feeling like, hey, I ripped this person off, or you gave me $50 for the game, and your bank account got charged $300 and all this sorts of stuff. So over here, we don't do any sort of gambling on games or anything like that. But my experience on Kick has grown to show me that, to be honest, this is a great place for Tom Clancy. I'm thinking about Grand Theft Auto 6. Okay, let's just call it the way it is. I'm thinking about when GTA 6 drops, where we going to be on that. I want to be there day one. That's one game. I ain't the best. Sharnita, thank you for the likes. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for being a value member of the 51 Dynasties community. I hope you're having an amazing Thanksgiving holiday. So the thing of it is, when Call of Duty 6, when Grand Theft Auto 6 drops, right, I want to be there day one with that. I want to play it like every day and stuff like that. But on TikTok, I'm pretty sure there's certain things they're not going to allow because, there's people driving over people on cars and shooting the police and smacking people in the face with pistols and all this other sort of stuff. I know the first thing I'm going to tell you right now, the first couple of days in that thing is going to be anarchy. Okay? Because I'm telling you right now, when I launch mines, right? Hold on, what is that? Oh, what the heck? Give me 1 second. So I know when GTA 6 comes out, it's going to be anarchy. I remember one time I logged into GTA 5 and all I wanted to do was go to the clothing store and change my clothes. And I got shot, and I shot the guy, and then we started going back and forth chasing each other through the city, and people were shooting me for rockets from the sky and stuff like that. So I know when GTA 6 comes out, I'm not even starting the story. You know what I'm saying? I'm playing GTA Online, day one, right? Now, is that how would I manage that just so everybody's on the same page? What I might do is, and of course I would do, at least 3 hours, at least 2 to 3 hours on TikTok. I would never come live. A lot of people, which I don't think is good, and, just saying, not telling anybody else to do with their brand, but I don't think it's good when you go live for like 10 minutes on TikTok and then say, hey, come over here. That's not fair to the TikTok audience. The 51 Dynasties here on TikTok can be assured when I go live playing a game that I'm playing it for at least an hour to 3 hours. Okay? Now, what we could do is, after the hour to 3 hours, what team is you doing the franchise with? So I have a franchise that's in the year 2029 that I normally play on Monday through Friday. It's the Philadelphia Eagles that was relocated to Honolulu, Hawaii. I chose Hawaii because my wife is Polynesian, so I wanted to play with her territory. I've made at least over 40 different trades. I've won some Super Bowls. I've lost some Super Bowls. I've lost to the Bills, the Chiefs. One time I got bumped out of the playoffs, I think, by the Niners or something like that. But it's very fun. I'm about to enter the 2029 season on Monday. So I think we're in week 3 or something like that in contract negotiations. So that's the team that I use. And they're also the Redwoods in Honolulu because they're green. And as you can see, I like green. So yeah, when GTA 6 comes out, what I could see doing is saying something like, hey, we're going to go live. I'm going live on TikTok for, this time at, say, 4 o'clock or something like that. And then, 4 to 5, 5 to 6 to 7, sometime around 7 o'clock. All right, guys, we've been playing for about 3 hours. I'm going to shut it down. I'm going to get the angle changed because this angle, this up and down thing, I wouldn't take that somewhere else because that's not fair. How I operate is every platform should get what they want, okay? And most of the times, this up and down platform is mainly because this is TikTok's preferred method, okay? So that's why I use it. But if I was to go to say, what do you call it? If I was to go to say Kick, what I learned was how to flip the screen to make it work. Okay, so what I would do is, you do about, say we do 3 hours, and let's say we're playing Madden or 2K, right? After about 3 hours, I would say something like, all right, guys, if you don't know already, I would put my kick information in the chat. I would say, all right, give me about a half an hour, 45 minutes, or let's say a half an hour to turn the stream around and give me some time to set up the settings, and then I'll be going live on TikTok. Live on Kick. Now, when I go live on Kick, I wouldn't play Madden because it's not fair to say, oh, I'm going to shut off the Madden stream and go over to Kick to play it. What I would be doing is I would be leaving behind Madden, which is a everyone accepted game, and playing games that are more 18 or older. Like Grand Theft Auto, Tom Clancy's The Division, Assassin's Creed, stuff like that. Things where I know, okay, I'm not going to catch a strike or, get into a bad situation, because of the fact of what I'm streaming. So, like I said, you can view my content, the playbacks and the previous videos. If you want to check out what I've been doing for the past 7 years, check out YouTube/SR51 Media, or check out Salt Aries Media. Both of those are my channels. Also, at the same time, be sure to go on over to Kick. I'm an affiliate over there. It's at SR. Let me make sure I'm giving you the right login information. Hold on one second. I got it on my phone. Swear I need to organize my phone a little bit better. Then I need to organize my phone. I'm about to get a different phone. So it all starts up again. Over there, it is at SR51 Media on Kick. Last live was about 2 weeks. From what I can see, they have been keeping clips. They have my last video from about 2 weeks ago in Madden because I wanted to test it out, to try it out. But I will be with what I realized is with a lot of these newer games coming out, they're best served over there, mainly because of the fact that I believe in what they're doing. And I understand everybody's like, hey, it's Mixer all over again. I don't really believe that, because of the fact that what you have to understand is people are wondering, well, how can these guys, keep the service alive? What you got to understand is crypto and gambling money is way bigger than what you think. That stuff is in the millions and billions. So to me, like, I understand the Twitch side of things, but without trying to sound like I'm downplaying them or something, a lot of the stuff in the discoverability part is not really that good. In just my opinion, I don't really feel as though that the discoverability option is that much good. And speaking to a lot of other content creators, I realized that there's like this mass exodus that's going on with Twitch, where a lot of people are coming over to TikTok, YouTube, Kick, because they don't like what's going on. So I don't want to be the guy that says, hey, well, I'm going to go on over here to Twitch, in the herd mentality, because everybody's jumping off the bridge, so I'm going to jump off the bridge with them. Like, I actually know what crypto is. I know how to buy it. I know how to trade it. I know how to sell it. I have my own investments. I'm not getting into it. You do your own stuff. This is not advertisement for it. What I'm saying is I have my own thing going on there. I occasionally will buy, if the lottery is at 500 million, yeah, I'll buy a ticket. If I go through a casino and I happen to go through a casino, I've played blackjack. I like blackjack as a game. I've sat down at blackjack tables before. Sometimes I've won, sometimes I've lost, but I like the experience of it. I'm a grown man, and I understand that some women are going to use their body to. Some women use their body to play the video game. Some women are. I've scrolled past some streams, not talking down about women, but I've scrolled past some gamer women channel where they're wearing bikinis or they're sitting in a hot tub or whatever. Hey, that's your thing. That's what you do. I don't feel as though anybody should be shut down on or stomped on because they're not doing what everybody else is doing. So for me, I'm setting up. I went over there. I asked everybody to come over because I think on right now, just to make everybody aware. Last time I checked, if you do want to try out Kick, which I do recommend you should, right now their requirements are not really that high. I mean, it's high. You got to get at least, I think it was like 80, or let me see if they'll show it to me. That way I can give you the accurate information. 1 second. No. I can't see on the channel I'm on. But right now, just giving you an example. So, slots and casinos are at 67,800 views. So what that means is if you were playing a slot game, there's 70,000 people willing to watch that. Just chatting like this, a podcast type thing, IRL, is at 50,000 people. So there's 50,000 people watching podcasts. Call of Duty Modern Warfare is next with 9,100 views. Grand Theft Auto is next with 8,200. Fortnite at 5,500. Pools, hot tubs, and bikinis at 3,200. FC24 at 2,500. Dota 2, Variant, Politics, and Call of Duty Warzone 2.0 at 1.3 thousand views. Now, what I noticed is these things that you heard, politics, hot tubs, and casinos, okay, if you don't like that, you don't have to interact with that. You know, they already said that when, you know, and what I noticed is it's not shoved in your face. Like when you go to a game stream, it's not, you know, 50 million ads for bikinis or politics or something. It has its own room. So let's say something does go on in the political world and you want to talk about it, boom. Or you want to hear about it, boom. You can go over to that room and listen to it. You see what I'm saying? Even with the requirements in the beginning, I don't know how much it is, but I'm pretty sure as they get bigger, the requirements are going to go up. That's the reason why I shop for affiliate right now. So that way, what can happen is when I do stream over there with Grand Theft Auto or whatever I'm doing, right? What can happen is you guys can feel like, hey, I can drop, I think it's emotes. I got to figure out what they use over there. I'm new to it, right? I only been, let me see. I don't know if they show when I created my channel. Let me see here. No, they don't. But I know I can find a tweet where it tells me, you know, the day that I became an affiliate. And, you know, once I became affiliated with TikTok and Kick, I really felt something different. You know, I felt as though like, okay, this is a place where, you know, to be honest, this is a great place for the community because it's mainly just gaming, you know, but it gives you options. Now, there are going to be some people, there's a lot of people that have come in the chat. Do you use Twitch? Have you tried Twitch? I've tried it. It's good. I just feel as though that TikTok and Kick are better. You know, YouTube is great, but at the same time with YouTube, I feel that YouTube is kind of, one thing that I didn't like, to be honest. Hold on one second. One thing that I didn't like, to be honest, about one thing I didn't like, to be honest, that YouTube did, to be honest, is they took away the ability. I was in GameStop. My hand to God, let me tell you the story, right? So I'm in GameStop and I'm talking to the guy about, you know, every now and again when I'm buying video games or I see that somebody's interested, I'll tell them, hey, I'm a content creator. This is my channel. So the guy asked me, he's like, well, where do you stream? I said, I stream to TikTok and Kick, right? I said, I used to be on YouTube, but I don't use it that much. And then he said, well, I heard YouTube is on fire. And I said, well, the thing about it is YouTube just passed a change in their policy where if you're playing a violent, if in the first 30 seconds of your, I think it's the first 30 seconds or minutes, but some time span in there when you start your stream, if your game is violent, like if you're playing Call of Duty or God of War or Battlefield or anything that's violent or 18 or older adultish, they're not going to let you monetize that video. Now, don't get me wrong, but that means the only thing that can be monetized, and it ain't talking like, oh, we need all this money. I'm just saying as a content creator, speaking, if you're thinking about doing it, what that means is if you start up your stream, what's going to happen? In the first couple minutes, you're going to load the game. You're going to be into a Call of Duty match. That's not able to be monetized. So what that means is you can't place ads in it. You can't receive donations on it. There's nothing you can do with it. The only thing you can basically monetize is a podcast, you know, and that now what that's going to do is that's going to put the weight on your podcast to basically bring you in, you know, subscriptions and gifts and stuff like that. And, you know, I would rather be able to have the best of both worlds, you know. And then I didn't even know Kick was going to start recording videos. Now that I know they got my last video from 2 weeks, what I'm going to start doing is we're going to have like late night Twitch streams. So I'll probably try to come up with a schedule today and I'm going to post it on Kick so that we can all know, because I'm probably going to get to a point where It's like Monday through Friday, probably somewhere around 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So that'd be a late night stream for the East Coast, but it will, like, the thing about it is I plan on buying GTA 6. I plan on buying a new Tom Clancy. I also want to get back to the Vision. So, what'll happen is the videos will still be posted to YouTube and then later put on the website. But as far as for live viewing, what I'll probably do is 9 times out of 10, like I said, play an hour to 3 hours, if not more than 3 hours on TikTok, Madden or 2K or whatever I'm playing, and then give you time to say, hey, I'm going on over here to Kick to play this game, come on over, right? And then over there, it would be the side-by-side content. Like I'm going to put my icon to either bottom or left, and then it's going to be side-by-side. So, just to make everybody aware again before we get up out of here, my normal stream schedule is Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There will be more gaming news. There will be more podcasts, so stay close to the brand. This has been an amazing stream. Have a great rest of your holiday weekend. I'm glad we was able to get together on Saturday. Have fun on Cyber Monday. Get you some deals. Get you some games. And be sure to come back next time. Have a blessed rest of your holiday. I'll see you next time. Peace.